What's up? It's Josh, wishing all of my friends over at Geek Pod a very happy anniversary. I have been a guest on very few podcasts. I don't think I'm a very good guest, but you guys had me on yours, and you gave me a Back to the Future comic book that I still have in my office to this day. I cherish that, so thank you guys so much, and congratulations on sticking around for this long in the podcast, video cast world. Best of luck on future broadcasts and 50 more years of geek poddism, geek poddings, many more geek pods, geekiest of pods.
Thank you for calling GeekPod. This call may be monitored or recorded for shits and giggles purposes. Please listen carefully, as our options haven't changed. To watch every television show in history except Supernatural, please press 1. To pick on Laura even though she isn't here to defend herself, please press 2. To say Corb's girlfriend is 50% of the audience, please press 3. To have your sound bounce off walls behind you at live events due to your shitty microphones, please press 4. To talk about the WWE, we called it WWF back in the day Attitude Era, please press 5. To check on the status of your order for the new and improved Diane's Vegetti XL 3000, please press 6. To say you are putting links in the show notes and never put links in the show notes, please press 7. To give hot Chinese food to Hungry Shrubbery, please press 8. To waste an entire day of prep and filming on a $20 Walmart Kids camera, please press 9. For all other questions, and to begin the podcast, please press 0. Your call is important to us. Please hold for the next available podcast. If you would like a call back when the next podcast is ready, please call someone else. If your mixing board fell face first onto a cat turd while trying to record this intro, please reach out to GeekPod support at www.areyoufuckingkiddingmeitstootearlyforthisshit.com/really shitty timing. Something will be with you shortly. Maybe. I think. Thank you for calling GeekPod.
Hello and welcome to episode 100. No fanfare, nothing. Look at this. I'm not even sure if I'm by myself.
You edit this. You can fix it. Why are you complaining?
I don't edit this. We all know this.
You put like clapping and cheering and
actually within the last couple of weeks I figured out how to do that, so that might actually work out. Anyway, yeah, we made it to 100. It took us a long time.
7 years later.
7 years to get to 100, but we made it.
It took you 100 episodes.
And it's only because of the apocalypse, as we've referenced before, that we actually got onto a timely schedule. Enough where now Ale's chastising me that he's not keeping up anymore.
Used to be so easy.
Drop in once a month, there's an episode. for those of you guys who don't know, and if you don't know, shame on you. This is our good friend Al Sedano. He is a fellow podcasting pal of ours. Hugh and I have both done time on his show, which is Resurrections, an Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast. Great show. I've been following it, I think, pretty close to the beginning.
Yeah,
I think
pretty early on.
Yeah. And through that show and me fanboying with Al, we became buddies. And
I said that.
We finally gotten to a point where we have something special enough to bring him on to co-host with us. So I'm super excited about that. Look at that. Hugh's already choked up over it. It's phenomenal.
I'm choked something.
Oh.
Is it on that cat turd?
No, not on the cat turd.
Is it
It was
on-
on
is-
a piece
Is
of
it on the
blue
curly
cheese.
hair and parachute pants?
No.
Nobody
Leave
knows
that
what you're
chicken
talking
alone.
about yet.
I
Clem.
made
Not
a
yet.
cheese. I made a cheese and salami plate.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Snack for
Whoa.
today.
I thought about being fancy and going back to the whole shirt and tie routine like I used to do for live appearances, but I'm lazy. So
And your power wasn't on.
don't even get me started. Of all days, of fucking all days. Okay, now I've got to tell this story. Literally, we've been working up to this, and literally for the last week now, we've feverishly been planning stuff, getting things in order for this, and I'm super excited about it. I've put quite a bit more work into this than I frankly ever have for the last 99 episodes, and I'm super jacked for this episode. And then what happens as I'm finishing up my workday today? All the power goes out in the house. So we look into it. We had a huge windstorm up here, in the Syracuse area, and I say up here because Al isn't here. Al's in Florida, and so apparently that knocked down a tree a few streets over and took power out to the entire development.
Oh, fun.
And I find out when I made my way out of my troll cave here in the basement that they were estimating that the power might come back on by 8:30, and we're scheduled to start recording at 9. So needless to say, I threw a hissy fit and then went into a panic attack. So we're lucky that we got this rolling when we did. So there's the good graces all hit at once.
Those
I
are
guess.
both appropriate responses.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think my neighbor thought so, who was over visiting my wife when I came up the stairs freaking out. But hey, I mean, it wouldn't be Geek Pod if something fucked up like that wasn't happening.
This
So,
is true.
And it wouldn't be upstate New York if the power didn't go out every time the wind blew.
very true. Very, very true. So, Al, I know you finally caught up since you just scolded me that you had to power through 3 episodes in like 2 days now. Which, by the way, that brought to my attention that I've been so focused on us doing the video podcast now that we were 3 episodes behind on Apple iTunes because the episodes weren't up yet.
Yeah.
We are totally up to date now. But
Yeah, I forgot you put it on YouTube because, I mean, I know some podcasts are on there. I don't listen to them on there because I usually am listening to them because I'm doing something.
right. Usually mine's drive time. That's where it gets me.
That's why.
So we are all caught up. Sorry for you guys who still listen to the show, who's been supporting us in its native format all this time. I apologize because, we've been spending so much time focusing on the pretty new young thing that we're doing.
You mean the other person that isn't Corb's girlfriend?
Al.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so he's the other 50% of our audience. Okay, all right.
So anyway, let's start it off like we normally would. Guys, what's got you geeked? And all of you fuckers can't say episode 100
Yeah, I gotta think now.
because that was going to be mine.
Are we still going to talk about gaming?
Yes.
Okay, then. I'll tell you what does have me geeked then outside of that. I read today that apparently George Romero's widow is working with somebody to try to bring his final story, which he called Twilight of the Dead, to the movie screens. Basically, it carries on directly from Land of the Dead, and anybody who's a fan of those movies knows that after Land of the Dead, they did Diary of the Dead and Survival of the Dead, and those kind of that one of them was like a found footage, and the next one took off from that, but it was almost like a modern day reboot of the original story, but from somebody else's perspective. It wasn't continuous from Land of the Dead, like the previous movies that all taken place in the same universe, one after another. This takes off from Land of the Dead, and it's basically a civilization that's almost completely decimated by the zombies, and that he had intended that to be his final story. He didn't want to go in the direction that they did. He kind of had to because studio pressure. You know, found footage movies were hot at the time, so he kind of had to put that on a back burner. I don't know if, I mean, they're developing it right now, so that doesn't mean it's going to happen. But the fact that they've come out publicly and said that they're working on it has me excited. As you know, I'm a huge Romero fan, and I would love to see, you know, how he wanted it to end. I also was always angry that we never got to see the world after Land of the Dead. Has anyone here seen Land of the Dead?
A long time ago. Was that the one where they're living in like a fortress and like there's a zombie that can sort of talk?
No, they're in a city. They have a city that's walled off. Dennis Hopper runs the city. John Leguizamo was in it as well. And,
I was gonna say John Leguizamo, but like no, he wasn't in that. Okay, so
yeah, and Simon Baker, who is the Mentalist. If you know that show, I don't know what else he's been in, but it was an excellent movie, I thought, and it showed you, you know, the zombies have pretty much taken over, and humans have strongholds, and it wasn't a military stronghold. You know, it was basically like a rich hotel shopping mall combo type thing, and the rich people got all the stuff while the poor people went out and got it for them. So it was very appropriate for, you know, our political and socioeconomical times. And I thought it was awesome, and I wanted to see where they went from there, you know, as a world, because each movie in the series kind of shows you a different snapshot right at the beginning, after it started, and people are still figuring out what they're doing. Day of the Dead was like, now it's been going on for a while, and you're at the, you know, one of the last military bases. And now here, once all of the military and government structure is completely gone, this is what people do. I wanted to see where it went next. So it looks like we may get that opportunity. So I'm very geeked about that.
oh, that's cool.
Very cool. I'll probably watch that movie series right after I finish Supernatural.
Kind of figured as much.
Perfect. That's perfect.
I'm glad I'm a joke to you guys.
Hey, you know what? I have been for the last 100 episodes, so it's time to spread it around.
It's your podcast. This was the idea.
I don't ever remember in the setup for this. It was called "Fuck with Paul." Like, this was supposed to be good for my ego. What the fuck?
You were drunk, and come on, it has been good for your ego.
Oh my god, yes. And we'll get into that in the second segment. Yes. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay. Yeah. Another one. He's all choked up.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you, Corbs.
That's my Wuhan shot coming back around.
Oh, that's right.
I got the Johnson & Johnson one, so that's not what's got me geeked, by the way. For me, it's the NFL draft. Everybody knows that I'm a sports guy. You know, that's the time of year when your team is going to win the Super Bowl. Everybody thinks their team is the shit and whatnot. So, you know, I watched the first round yesterday. I'm a Colts fan. You guys might know that. I don't know if I've mentioned that a few times.
Maybe.
So I just,
definitely in the first 10 episodes.
They drafted a couple guys on the defensive side of the ball, which is where they need help. You know, I got to see that. And this year, the draft for the first time ever had quarterbacks go first 3 picks. It's never happened before in the history of the draft. They've had quarterbacks the first 3 picks of the draft. 2, 1, and 3, but never had quarterbacks all 3 top picks. So it's pretty interesting to watch. So that's what's got, I mean, it's that for me is the draft is just watching. And then obviously I watch the draft to see who from Syracuse gets drafted every year. So they got 2 defensive backs that are supposed to be drafted tonight. So I'm waiting to see where they end up. Andre Cisco is one, and I can't pronounce the other kid's name. It's like Idaho or something like that, and Magawi or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay.
But
I don't know.
yeah, so I like to see that. I watched the NFL draft to see that, and then I watched the NBA draft to see where guys from Syracuse get drafted. So that's for me. It's just the draft. Next 6 or 7 months of the draft, or however long it goes.
The continuing effects from it and what happens from there.
Seriously, I mean, it starts on Thursday night, then they got 2 rounds on Friday night, and they got like 18 rounds on Saturday or something like that. Before it was like a one-night thing, and now it's it's a huge.
It's an event, just like everything else.
So
it's kind of like picking teams for kickball in middle school gym, except it's televised and it goes on for fucking ever.
Pretty much, and and the last guy picked in the draft every year, his name is Mr. Irrelevant. So the last guy picked is like, you're a nobody.
That was me.
So it is like kickball teams.
Yeah, it's just like getting picked for a kickball team. So, but yeah, that's it for me.
All right, and I'll go next because mine kind of feeds into the same thing. What's got me geeked is that something happened today that makes me officially retired from the football league that I was in. I was removed from the group chat for the team.
Oh,
ouch.
I did it myself. I took myself out. That's not as good of a story, sorry, but it's I was watching all of them corpse come on. I was watching all of them going back and forth about putting the team together, and they were saying, somebody said something about this should be for the active roster, and I dropped the gif of SpongeBob doing the I'm out, and I just took myself out of it. I just peaced out on them. And then immediately got 3 text messages because people needed advice and needed help and all that. But that's what did it for me. It's the final clean break from me trying to pretend that I'm still young.
So were you like the admin for the group chat?
I was.
So you just outed the whole thing. You're like, I'm done.
Yep.
And just threw it to somebody and said, there you go, deal with it.
Yep. Same as I did with being team captain. I was the guy that was in control of all that. I'm the one that got the teams registered, took care of the rosters, greased the palms with the refs, all that stuff. And I literally, when I walked away in the fall, that was it. I dumped that right on somebody else. So
if I can't have it, no one else can.
Right. Done up.
Yeah. Yay. No more optional concussions.
Right. Now I have to just stick to the ones for falling down because I'm old.
Yeah.
Or drunk, one of the two.
Or both.
Let's see how the night goes. Yeah. Who wants to go next, Kevin or Al?
I can go. I can tell you a little something. I got reminded today of something I found out relatively recently, maybe a week or two ago. She-Hulk is coming to MCU, and the woman that's playing the role is an actor that my wife and I have followed for a while and really, really enjoyed in the last role that she had. That's Tatiana Maslany. And she was the clone, the many clones in Orphan Black.
Oh, no kidding.
And, yeah. So I'm really, really looking forward to that.
Nice. Now, do we have a release date on that? Like, have they even talked about when they're going to start filming? Are we in pre-production now? Are they?
They're filming now. So it was the release of some of the pictures of her on set.
That's Jennifer Walters, though, right?
Yep. I guess by what people are saying, they think it follows the general storyline pretty well. So
is it my understanding that there's nothing now for the MCU right now? We had WandaVision and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then there's nothing right now, and Loki's the next one. Correct?
Right, in June.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, there's nothing going on. Okay.
Didn't they come out and say there was going to be something every single week of the year a while back? Like specials or movies coming out in the theater or something like that?
Well, yeah, COVID might have screwed that up too.
I can remind you of something I said before, but of course it probably just about got me booed off the podcast, but you know, they are bringing some stuff back from Sony to the Disney universe. So, but I'll just leave it at that.
You mean Fox?
The Fox and ones? Disney, or Fox and Sony.
Yeah, because Sony had Spider-Man.
Yes.
I wasn't going to say it because the last time I said those two words, or that hyphenated word, I got some pretty vicious stares. Apparently, I'm one of the only people that like Spider-Man.
What?
No, hell no. We all love the new Spider-Man stuff.
Oh, you guys all looked at me like I had two heads when I said it last time.
No, we look at it.
Could it be because you didn't have pants on when you said it?
You don't know that.
That's what
Wait.
Kathy said.
You want pants on this?
I mean, no. I mean, no more than you'd have to wear at work. Just please, if you warn us if you're going to stand up, Al.
You don't know what I do for work, do you?
Yeah, but they're bringing more than that back. There's other stuff. There's other content coming back to Disney, or coming to Disney. That's partnership. So it's Sony, Fox, and a few others.
Yes.
So
They just that news broke this past week, right?
yeah, it wasn't long ago.
Yeah.
Well,
Looking
maybe a
forward to
few weeks
that.
ago. He just said you mentioned it before. Pay attention, Paul.
Well, the Spider-Man
What?
I knew about. The other stuff I had only heard rumors about. And we'll see what that does. But that may be how they're going to fill those gaps, is with previously released content under other banners.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And also, they do have those short little, I think they're called legends or whatever things on
Yes.
Disney Plus, where it like gives you like the history so you can catch up. So I mean, maybe they're counting that too. So it could be
Maybe.
a 5-minute thing that we're not going to watch because we watched them all, but it's still content.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. Okay.
As well as like after each one of these shows ends, they do these like documentaries now about the making of, right? Didn't they just do Assembled for this week? Like I think it came out today
Oh, we'll have to look at that.
for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I saw a blurb about it on Facebook. I didn't look too deeply into it. I was a little busy for this.
Do we know when What If is coming out? I'm really looking forward to that.
I
wanna
thought
see
was
that.
Summer. I
Yeah.
thought that was,
Oh.
I thought it was summer. Yeah, I think.
Oh, by the way, I'm finally caught up with Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm good.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, and I'm looking at IMDb. It says She-Hulk 2022. So
Okay.
it would make sense if they're working on it now, if they want to have it ready for early next year, maybe.
I'm really looking forward to that. I never paid too much attention to that storyline in the comic books. I don't know. Green Women didn't really turn me on, so they do now.
I'm just excited for it because I'm an Orphan Black fan as well. So
Love that show.
yeah,
Freaking love that show.
I mean, when they announced her casting, I was like, wow, that's perfect. I couldn't have picked it better myself.
Yeah, she
I'm
won an
interested-
award for Orphan Black. What was that?
Finally,
She-
the last season, I think, didn't she get an Emmy? I think.
was it an Emmy?
Yeah, because people complained that she was never nominated, and she plays like
Yeah.
20 characters on the damn show, and they're all completely different. And yeah, I believe that she got nominated and won for the final season.
It's fantastic. I mean, she really deserved it. And I mean, for a relative unknown, I mean, I don't know of anything she did before that. And
She got a primetime Emmy. Yeah,
primetime Emmy, that's what it was.
it was the same thing. I guess that's the Emmy. Outstanding lead actress in a drama, in 2016. So,
Now you know that they're continuing the story. Are you aware of that, Kevin?
So they had what did they have? A comic strip or something?
There was a comic, and I believe they're doing audio dramas now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's Big Finish doing them. I know they're big on the audio dramas, but yeah, I think it either just came out or is coming out soon, maybe.
I'd be interested in looking into that. I love the way the story ended. I thought the way they wrapped it up was fantastic.
Yeah.
Is that a Netflix show?
No,
It
it was,
was
BBC.
BBC America,
Okay.
And-
Yeah. I
And
never,
they,
I know.
they showed it on
AMC.
AMC. Yep.
All right. I might have to go back and find that one because
Oh,
it's another one that I haven't obviously done. No, it's not, Corpse.
It's so worth it. I mean, the beginning will have you a little bit confused about what's going on, but you'll pick it up and you'll drop right into the story pretty easily.
And that's something you could watch with your wife. She'd probably like it too.
All right, cool.
yeah, my wife liked it a lot.
Yeah, but like we were talking, your wife's cool like that. She actually likes a lot of the genre stuff, and
Yeah, right now she's doing a rewatch. Well, sort of rewatch. It's like I'm doing stuff, so I want to put on something I've seen a bunch of times. So she's going through Supernatural again.
you hear that, Corbs? Again.
Do people actually watch that show?
Yeah.
Really,
people
trying to
actually
get us to
that
watch
show.
it. So
About 50% of the people on here do. All right, Al, do you got something that's got you geeked?
Yeah, we're actually have plans for 2 days from now. We're going out. We're going to Universal Studios Orlando. On Sunday.
Nice. Very, very.
'Cause-
We need to talk off mic too, because I think we've got our stuff scheduled for next year, and
Okay, cool.
we got to try this again.
Yes.
But just now that I've mentioned it, the last time I went on a family vacation to Orlando, Al and I were conspiring, trying to get together and just hang out during my family vacation, and it just didn't work out.
Well, yeah.
I think you ended up having to work while we were down there, so we
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to plan it better. Plus, if you're doing a Universal, at least as of now, we have season passes, so it makes it easier because unlike a Disney thing, where it's like, well, what's outside? It's like, okay, I can just go there.
Right. No, we're doing everything. My mother's going with us. She wants to take the kids.
Oh, nice.
Before they get too old and before anything bad happens. With Madison.
We'll talk off mic later, because my wife, with all the times we've gone, is really good at figuring out the stuff. So if like there's questions about things, she can help with that.
That's awesome. So yeah, we'll definitely we'll brainstorm on that one.
But yeah, we're going on Sunday. It's the last day of their Mardi Gras celebration, and they have a lot of. But I mean, they don't do the parade anymore, but they have the floats out there for people to throw beads at you, and they have all kinds of different, Mardi Gras themed food and stuff to have. So we're basically gonna go hang out and eat stuff.
Awesome. I mean, that's a good plan. It is a very good plan there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
I love food.
Oh God, do I love food?
Food is nice.
I got KFC tonight out of the whole power outage deal because we couldn't cook, so that made me happy.
I miss
now,
breakfast pizza.
How come you have diabetes and you can eat KFC and I have diabetes and I can't?
Because you abide by the rules, he doesn't.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'm in that same boat as Paul. I don't abide by the rules either. I just went out and had a nice big steak tonight for dinner. So steak,
Yeah, but steak's not too bad for you. It's all the other stuff that comes along with it.
mashed potatoes and
Mm-hmm.
lemon butter.
Sauteed mushrooms and onions.
Yep.
Oh, God. I'm going to the Outback when we're done tonight, guys.
I went to Copper Top.
Oh, nice.
Steak Italiano is what I got.
Ooh, there's an excellent steakhouse at Universal at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds like a plan too. That'll have to be it.
I have to. If you're a fan of the Copper Top, I just have to say, best thing on their menu, as far as I'm concerned, is their fried zucchini. They actually take the zucchini and they quarter it the long way, and it's not little tiny pieces. You get the entire spear in each piece.
Cool.
And they bread it with panko, and it's delicious. And the sauce it comes with is not reminiscent of any other sauce I've ever had. It's fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you right now, we had such great service there that I will go back. I'd never been there before. Never been to Copper Top. It's been since I moved here. It's been 5 feet from my house, and I've never once been there. I drive by it every day. Go to Tully's once a month or whatever. Drive by Copper Top, owned by the same company. Never stop. My sister was like, "I want to go to Copper Top tonight." I'm like, "All right, never been. I'll go." The waitress that we had was fantastic, to the point where I would go back there again just for the service. So
Nice.
she made the experience all the more better. So
It was the under the table handy, wasn't it?
it's tough to have when your son's sitting next to you there, Chief, and your mother
But-
and sister.
Might be
But
tough.
not impossible.
Not impossible. There you go.
You're right.
This makes it more impressive.
That's how she earns that tip. That's why.
She earned a tip today. Don't get me wrong.
Wow.
I've had good service and good food at Copper Top every time we've been there.
Yeah, it's a great place, and I don't think that's a nationwide thing. So Al probably has no fucking idea what we're talking about.
I'm assuming it's a restaurant, so I have some idea.
Well, I was making
you
the point
have
that I think it's literally a Syracuse thing. But
I didn't think it was a hardware store. He's like, "Hey, damn it, I want some food here,
right,
sir.
I mean,
Sir, would you like a hammer? We give you a hammer." But
all right, I'm watching the clock tick down, and I'm wondering if I have time to discuss with you guys about the fact that I think my house is haunted.
Well, if you want to hold that off, since we are running out of time, I do have something to share.
Feel free.
Quick. Okay.
Yeah, we'll push that to the third.
So I've talked, the past few weeks, exalted praise on certain non-alcoholic beer companies, and yesterday I got my latest delivery from BrewDog, and they tried to kill me because in their mixed pack was their their version, I guess it's something that Elvis used to like. They make a grapefruit and blood orange beer, but they also have the non-alcoholic version. And wouldn't you know, in my mix pack, there's 3 of the Elvis beers. They call it Elvis as fuck. And I had to send them an email today because I reached out to them by email 2 times first to ask, hey, can you swap out in the mixed pack because I can't have grapefruit because of the medication I'm on, and then a second time asking about because their seasonal beer changes, and apparently that was going in the seasonal slot, and I was told both times they've swapped it out for something different, and it's not in that mixed pack anymore. Lo and behold, I get it today, and it's in the mixed pack.
You annoyed somebody.
I'm thinking I did, but they're going to replace it or do something because.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
there's probably also like a syringe in one of those cans that you're going to drink down.
Why?
Because now you pissed them off.
All I did was ask if there was real grapefruit in it, because you can get grapefruit flavor from certain hops, and sometimes they market it as very fruity or whatever. I was trying to find out, is there actually grapefruit in this, because I don't want to die.
And you may not anyway. I mean, you went full Karen, man. Come on.
No, I didn't. No full Karen.
They're reading the emails and they're like, this fucking guy. Seriously.
In the middle of the email, he wants to speak to the manager. Jeez.
Oh, no. I was very polite. And I'm always polite because I'm in customer service. I even said, I at the end of the email, I said, I feel bad to have to ask you to fix this, but I also don't think it's fair for me to pay for beers that might kill me.
I mean, isn't that part of the fun?
No.
But I feel you. I did the same thing. That is literally the one thing that all this time I've stayed away from. And Wegmans actually has a really good diet, like grapefruit soda, that once I got on these medications, I was like, well, not having that one anymore. Because that is made with legit real grapefruit. So yeah, don't go near that one.
Yeah.
And just so you know, for the past 100 episodes, guys, Laura's always hated the fact that we talk about our medical problems. So,
really?
Yes.
Really?
Why?
Yeah. I'll sprinkle little did you knows throughout the show.
Okay.
Like that. That'll probably all have something to piss Laura off.
Nothing but love, though.
And we actually missed our video game segment because we're running out of time here. Unless we can do video games in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Is anybody playing anything, first of all?
Anything new?
Other than Valhalla, yes.
Baseball for me, but
that's true.
Last episode.
Yeah.
I started playing The Witcher 3.
Nice.
Wild Hunt, because I've heard so much about it. Of course, Witcher 1 and 2 are all on old platforms, so you can't, without some jiggery pokery, I can't go back and play those games. I actually did install the first Witcher years ago on my computer and tried to play it, and the control scheme is all sorts of fucking weird, and I liked it, but I'm like, I can't do this. But I'm like, they have a sale going on. But if you don't know, Sony has a huge sale going on right now, and it was like $6.99. And nice. I'm like, this was like game of the year like 3 years ago, and people still rave about it. So I'm going to give it a try. So far, it's good. The movement feels floaty, especially when turning. It feels like it turns too fast around the character. It's disorienting me. I don't want to say a ton, but it's noticeable whenever I play. I have to adjust how I'm using the sticks. Maybe it's just because I'm used to so many Assassin's Creed games in a row. But outside of that, combat is interesting. It really, the story and the voice acting is interesting enough that I'm sticking with it. Like, there were a few times where I'm like, I could go back and start playing Assassin's Creed again, but I want to see what happens. So if you haven't played it, definitely appears like it's going to be a good game. Definitely some strong imagery and a very deep, deep world.
Nice.
Cool.
I picked up a not a new game this week as well, based off of current new movies I watched. It inspired me to pick up my copy of Mortal Kombat 11 that I hadn't opened until this week. And I was shocked to find out that Mortal Kombat has a fucking story mode now.
Has for a while.
Yeah, well, I played Mortal Kombat 2 and then I jumped to Mortal Kombat 11. So I was a little shocked by that. It's still basically the same game, just looks way better when you're murdering people. Is what it comes down to. And then there's a timey-wimey aspect to the storyline. So definitely digging it. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. And if nobody else has anything else to say about video games, I'm going to throw us right to our first commercial break where you're going to hear the trailer and see for Ale's show. All right, we'll be right back, guys.
Hey, Geek Pod, it's your favorite pop culture painter, Shad and Wiki here, and I want to wish you guys a very sincere, happy 100th episode for Geek Pod. Thank you again for all the support over the years, and I can't wait for the next 100. So keep that shit coming. Stay rad.
Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a keyback issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore, located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking. Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics.
Hey GeekPod universe. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Laura. I've been part of GeekPod for probably about 6 years. I do the social media aspects and some behind the scenes stuff at Comic-Cons and live events and stuff like that. I just wanted to congratulate Paul and Hugh and the rest of the team of GeekPod for making it to 100 episodes. When we did the 50th, honestly, I didn't think we were going to make it this far. I did just want to thank you guys for letting me be a part of it, for all the people we've met, all the places that we've been. Of course, my favorite interview with Ming Chen. I'll never forget that, and I want to thank you guys for that moment. So, seriously, guys, here's to 100 episodes, and hopefully we get at least 100 more. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
I'm Al Sedano, host of Resurrections and Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast. We were on a bit of a hiatus earlier this year, although we still did put out one episode each month. But we will be back this May as we finish up Adam and Thanos' appearances in the 70s, as well as Infinity Wars and the Infinity Entity miniseries. Join us every other Sunday. Just type in Adam Warlock or Thanos into your favorite podcatcher and we will pop up. Or go to resurrectionsadamwarlock.tumblr.com.
And we are back. So there, guys, go. If you're not already subscribed, go subscribe to Resurrections and Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast, and visit our newest sponsor, Collectibles Galore. So, as I was saying, first of all, does anybody else have any video game stuff to talk about since I kind of cut us off real quick there?
No, the last game thing I had, well, the last gaming system I had in I owned was my Genesis.
Nice. It was a good one to own. I'm not going to lie. But all right, so I do feel like I need to get this off my chest before we get into the 100th episode celebration. I think my house might be haunted, at least according to my wife. We've had a couple of weird things happen, and I want to get your guys' take on it.
Is she talking about weird smells? Because we might have an answer for that.
No, that's me. She's used to that. Yeah.
Okay, make sure.
I'm gonna. Didn't we bring this up before?
Off mic, we discussed this before.
Okay. I do remember vaguely sitting in our recording studio.
My basement.
My basement. your troll.
The troll cave.
Right. Yeah. Talking about your house being haunted.
Oh no! This was something we talked about off mic a couple weeks ago that I threatened I was going to tell the story.
Well, now you're telling the story.
Yes, I am. So I'm going to go with the newest one first. We're sleeping, and all of a sudden I get violently shaken awake, and it's my wife Kristen freaking out about a mysterious sound. So apparently she had heard this sound coming back from the bathroom. It was this strange buzzing sound, and she ran to bed to come wake me up. The sound stops. She says, never mind. We go back to sleep. It happens again. She wakes me up. I go investigate, and it's my electric toothbrush just going off by itself. Would not stop until I got my charger out, plugged it in, put it on it, and then it stopped. The next day, I take it off the charger and won't start, won't do anything. It's dead. Okay, I've had the thing like a decade. Throw it in the trash with the charger. It's gone. Gonna get a new one. 6 hours later, it starts again. So now she's convinced after this and the next story I'm going to tell you that our house is haunted. Completely freaking out. I had to bag the garbage immediately and take it outside because she's now scared of my toothbrush. So we have the ghostly toothbrush. Okay. Couple weeks back before that, we're making sexy time. I set the stage. I'm just kind of leaned back with my hands behind my head. Okay. You get where this is going. Stops dead in the middle of performance because she hears a sound. I didn't hear anything. I politely suggest that she go back to what she was doing. All of a sudden I hear a rattling. She hears it too, freaks out, jumps out of bed. She's completely freaked out, turns the light on because she always insists the room has to be like a crypt to do anything. I think that says something about what she thinks about me. Finish up what we're doing with the light on, which is uncomfortable for her. So we get all dressed and I decide I'm going to go investigate why my door handle's rattling. I come face to face with the ghost. It's our 9-year-old sitting at the door. She wanted to come in and chat.
That sounds like more her horror story.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Thankfully we lock the door when we do stuff because then it would have been, years of therapy, so I needed to get that off my chest. That's all. I wanted to make fun of.
Now I need therapy.
I warned you weeks ago I was going to tell that story. So now to get into the reason why we're here.
And what's the reason why we're here?
Well, I mean, I would hope you guys weren't anticipating having to hear that story.
No.
Well, now I know what you do with your hands during sexy time. That's more than I needed to know.
I was trying to paint the picture for you there.
Wow.
The picture nobody wanted.
Seriously.
So 100 episodes. We've been doing this 7 years. Some of us longer than others. Some of us maybe just started maybe a month or so ago. Gotta learn which way to tip my head so it looks like I'm looking at the right person. Guys, what does everybody think about that? Making it to 100, first of all.
Well, I say this, it's impressive. A lot of shows don't get to 100. A lot of shows stop before then.
We thought for a while. Yeah. We thought for a bit we weren't going to make it. But it's been a wild ride. I mean, it's just some of the shit that we've done, some of the people that have come through here. I mean, we've had the opportunity to talk to some really cool people through all this. I mean, people that other people would actually know. You know what I mean?
A few.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's definitely not a weekly thing, and it's afforded us a lot of really cool opportunities. I mean, we've done movie premieres because of it. We got to be treated like VIPs at like Beer Fest because of it. I mean, yeah, there's been some really cool stuff, and I mean, I went back and checked everybody's first appearance. Me obviously was episode 1. Corbs was episode 2 and 3 technically because we recorded them together and I split them in half. Hugh was episode 5. Kevin, I mean, what was it? 95, 96?
Well, I thought it was like 99, but whatever.
What do you guys have just in your mind? Because I've done this, and it'll be cool to get Al's opinion on this too, as a quote unquote outsider, not being within the shit here. What do you guys have for like memorable moments from this?
Well, one thing that always sticks with me, even though this should probably be your moment, but when Neil Adams sat down with us and said, "Hey, Superman's an alien. For all we know, he might have a pussy in his ear." I mean, that's still hearing a respected comic book artist like him from the old days say so. I mean, he didn't know us. No. We weren't from a publication or anything like that. He just sat down and bullshitted with us, to a degree. And after we'd heard so many rumors about how he's difficult to work with and don't try to interview him, he's not going to want to talk to you. I mean, something like that. It just blew my mind. Something that could, I mean, that's an off-color comment. I mean, no one's going to care about us, but that could impact somebody who has some agency in their celebrity. And he didn't care. He just kind of threw it out there.
Well, since you bring him up, I mean, that was one of those really memorable ones for me too, is me being a Green Lantern fan. He was intimidating. And I literally spent the whole weekend at Nickel City Con almost avoiding him. Like, you can attest to this, Hugh. I would like walk out and around his table because I didn't want to interact with him because he is a legend. And he apparently had enough of the bullshit, and he called me over. Like, he taunted me into coming to his table to talk. And then he was just like, "Yeah, I'll come on the show. When do you want me to do it?" Like, I think he was like, "Let's do it first thing tomorrow morning." Mm-hmm. And he came over and he gave one of the best interviews we ever had. He was so much fun. He was very candid. I mean, he was basically he basically said that the whole concept for Casper is a dead baby, which I think is what we named the episode with him. And we've had a lot of cool shit like that just fall into our laps.
Can you imagine if we capitalized on any one of them properly?
Right. We don't do that. That's the problem. We don't know how to do that, which is what it really comes down to. Yeah. Because we're just a bunch of goofballs, like getting together, hanging out and bullshitting and
recording it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, usually there's been times we forgot to hit record. And wow, I went back to listen through some of our old episodes before Josh figured out our audio. It explains why we don't have a lot of listeners.
Yeah.
Some of those were awful. Very, very awful. But you know what? We've always had fun. And you know what? Somehow we have always found a way to be funny.
We think objectively.
Well, yeah, we're very objective. I mean, that's true. Again, looking in from the outside, Al, and be honest. Yeah. I mean, are we funny?
For the most part.
He's like, no, not really.
Yeah, for the most part. Make me laugh.
Good. I mean, we try.
It's not just the view. It's not just seeing you either. So, you know.
Right. And as you'll see, we're going to be going into a segment that I think we all we had a pretty good idea on it, and I think it came out really good. You guys have seen the end result of the one part of it, and I've got a thumbs up from Corbs on that one, at least. That made me feel good.
That was good.
I'm glad you like it.
That was good.
Wait, are you talking about what you sent me today?
Yes.
I told you it was good. You got a thumbs up for me too.
Did I? Okay.
I didn't thumbs up the email because I didn't know you were such a fragile princess, but I did text you.
How do you not know that?
How do you not know that?
I know that, and I'm the new guy.
Well, in all fairness, you work with him, so you actually see him a lot more than I do.
The whole prima donna thing, yeah.
It's one of the first things I learned about Paul.
Second was he's a little bitch. Now, as I said, I was going through, and I think some of our best moments, and I'm going to call them out to you guys. Hugh, I definitely want to say one of your best moments was Diane's Vegetti. One of my favorite ones for Corbs was on the lake.
Like that when that was when I was on vacation.
When you came back from vacation, and literally, I think we caught you 27 times using the phrase "on the lake."
Right.
And
I want to go back to the lake.
Why wouldn't you? You really liked it.
I liked being on that lake. That lake was fun.
I mean, it was no Attitude Era, but
no.
And I don't know about you guys, but I would say one of our most fun moments was the Five Wits.
Oh yeah,
Five Wits was good. I like that.
That was a blast, and the fallout from it when we found out about Jack and his really poor decision making with the stolen iPhone.
Yep.
Oh yes.
There's a story there.
Oh, yes. Story there.
That was episode 19.
Holy crap! That was that long ago.
Yes, it was.
Man.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. Like you said that, it sounds familiar, but
yeah, his iPhone was stolen from him at the courthouse because he was the one that would deliver the files and stuff there, and he tracked them down and went to the house and demanded his iPhone back.
That's right.
Yeah, and got it back.
Yeah,
okay, that works.
Causing him to show up late for the Five Wits thing and come bounding in from the side of one of the rooms and scaring the fuck out of all of us.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the first one we were in. He came right in the side door there, and
it was the Indiana Jones room tomb.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, he told us about it after. And we talked. We ended up talking about it the next week whenever we got back together.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that now. Wow.
We're going back here. Which, by the way, Jack's first episode was from our first con together, Corbs, when we did Syracuse Heroes Expo. He was the contest winner. That's how we got involved with him on that. Yeah.
I remember him being the contest winner.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what do you guys feel, instead of me doing all the damn talking, what do you guys feel like were some of our best moments?
This is where you insert crickets.
Yes, I've already got it queued up for editing.
I mean, for me, just the best moments for me. I mean, you guys know, I'm not a comic book guy. I've never been a comic book guy at all. I mean, you guys talk about comic books, and Paul and Hugh can attest to this. Sometimes when you guys talk about comic books, and I was sitting in the basement, I literally was like almost asleep. Sometimes
we called that out a few times. Yes.
Yeah, like got off a few times. So I mean. And we talked about this, Paul. It was part of the running gag. Putting me in a comic book store, or putting me in a con as a sports guy, and not having any idea what the fuck was going on. I mean, those to me were some of the funner times we had. Because I mean, I was kind of like just around going, "What the?" People walk around in costumes and shit, and I'm like, I got no freaking clue what's going on here. But besides the fact, I had a great time while I was there. I mean, it was always fun. We were always laughing and joking like we always do. But for me, it was just that weird feeling about being at the cons and not really understanding anything about it.
Right.
I mean, but it was always a great time. I mean, we always had fun. I haven't gone to like the overnight ones. I know you guys went to, where was it?
Saratoga and Buffalo.
In Buffalo. I didn't get to go to either one of those. So, but just go to the Comic Cons around here, and getting to see some people. I mean, hell, I got to meet the Honky Tonk Man.
That's right.
He was actually supposed to come on and talk on the podcast, but then he just like blew out of the.
Yep, blew us off. Yeah.
Yeah, what that dick. But those are the fun times. I mean, I enjoyed going to those things and hanging out and seeing people. I mean, you start talking to people, excuse me, over and over again, and at those things, you start to make some pretty decent acquaintances and stuff like that, which is nice. I mean, we've met some really good artists and stuff like that through the Comic Cons and whatnot. So it's just being in that situation, putting me in a situation like that is it's pretty crazy for me because I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big comic book fan, but just being there with you guys and having you guys kind of explain things to me a little bit more, that for me is the big moments for me. It's just getting to go to these things and hanging out with you guys and basically seeing you guys get to kind of geek out at these things and me just kind of sit back going, nope, no fucking clue.
Corbs, did these guys ever tell you why people actually cosplay?
Well, I know there's a reason for cosplay, but I don't think that's the reason they're doing it.
Oh no, there's a very specific reason people cosplay at these cons. It's a mating ritual.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the punchline here.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that? Because we keep hearing cosplay is not consent. So
there is that.
I didn't say it was consent. I said it was a mating ritual. It's a opener.
Okay.
Consent would still be needed for that. So, to be fair.
Al, do you have any favorite moments that we've done looking in from it?
I'm trying to think of some things that popped in my head. I do remember you freaking out meeting Ming, so that was fun.
I fucking knew that was going to come up tonight. Yes. Yeah, thank God we weren't doing a video podcast then.
He was in full on crying mode. It was beautiful.
Well, he knows Kevin Smith, so that's okay. He's used to that.
Okay, good point there too. Yeah.
I remember when I say yelling, I don't mean exactly yelling, but I remember when your daughter was on Hugh and like you'd be yelling at her for like not being prepared, not prepping. She'd be having something to talk about. She's like, and stuff. Like, you were supposed to read this. I didn't want to. It's 2 minutes. It's a page. Just read the things you know you're talking about.
Yeah, she's still like that. Not much has changed.
Now she just slaps your phone across the room.
Yeah. If you watch it back, I don't know if you will because you're on it, but there's a bunch of segments that are going to be interspersed in here. You'll see Lana on this episode.
Oh, well, yeah. No, Ego will make me watch it at least because I'm like, oh, there's me.
There you go.
So
cool.
it's just there's some fun stuff to hear. Plus, actually, for Corbs, it's very recent, but I still have in my head because it was funny the story of your dad with Jake the Snake.
Yes,
it still makes me laugh. That's still.
Yeah, you have no idea about that.
That was good.
Yeah, it was hysterical when he was telling us about that. I have stories about my father being on the job that'll make you cry. They're hysterical. That's some of the stories he told me, but that one is the best one. So
that was a good one. That was a damn good story.
I mean, that's why I had to name that episode "I'm gonna shoot the snake." That was just the best thing. And to find out that like everybody we know was at that goddamn show,
right?
I mean, did you see Hugh that
I couldn't see shit?
Well, no, not at the show. After that episode came out, Kelly, Corbs's girlfriend, commented that she also was at that WWF show. So,
I didn't catch that.
So like everybody was there.
Yep.
So it's like the equivalent of the sitcom or whatever. They do the episode in the past, and they have to, of course, say that everyone was at that same place at the same time.
Yep, but no one knew each other.
But you actually were.
Yep.
And I'm thinking that Hugh and I were probably sitting in the same section from the sounds of it.
Maybe.
Well, if it's going by that trope, then if you remember at some point thinking about the guy next to you, what an asshole. Because then that probably was each other.
Oh, I was totally trying to think of some joke to throw out there, but I couldn't think of anything. I really don't remember anything but the steel girder in front of me and the foam finger my dad bought me. That's
I'm going to check through here again. The 2 times that Josh was on, I think were highlights for us. The episode we did with him where he fixed the audio for us. And then I think that was just a whole Supernatural episode we did with him, right? Not at the show that we haven't watched.
Yeah.
And then when he came on at Zombie Ball and we went into the discussion about the coin purse, the coin vagina.
Yep.
That okay. You apparently Al remembers that one too.
Kind of remember that one.
That was phenomenal. That whole both times at Zombie Ball were just a blast. We had a really good time with that. Which, by the way, our resident fact checker tells us that's when I was trying to get you to dress up as the Blues Brothers. By the way,
Okay,
just future reference.
Was it the zombie one? Was that the one where you guys did the interview with the psychic?
That
Yes.
was the second time we were there.
Okay.
Yes. And so much of that got left on the editing room floor because shit got scary real, didn't it, Hugh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like at one point, like Hugh stopped everything to say, dude, are you okay? Like it got, that girl is legit. Even if her politics aren't the best, those, whew. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not, I mean, I love that as far as a theme for stuff I watch and media I consume, but I'm a skeptic at heart. So, I mean, it really, I was under the impression, psychics are generally just people who can read people. I mean, I do it every day, customer service over the phone, listening for things and trying to pull stuff out and connect with somebody. This was on another level. I mean, I'm not saying I believe in all that shit now, but it was startling in the moment.
And it's hard to deny that there's something legitimate there when we're discussing my daughter and I'm wearing long sleeves. Okay, that's important. And she reaches out and grabs my forearm and says she's beautiful. And she reached out and touched the tattoo that has Madison's name on it through my shirt. She did not know it was there. I had not rolled my sleeves up all night or anything like that. That is scary shit. So that really got me. And then a lot of what else was said.
Yeah.
And Hugh makes a damn fine Wolfman, by the way. Just saying.
That's all I can do, though.
Well, we put about 50% effort into dressing up for those.
One of my I don't know if I want to call it a highlight, but I was at the very least, you guys haven't heard it. You're going to hear a different intro to the show this week. And Paul, one of the options I was considering was soaking your feet in 2 trash buckets and playing Fallout 4 on your work computer while your buddy drinks with Ming Chen. Press 7. That was one of the things on the list, but I ended up having to cross it off.
Oh, that night. Woof. I think we mentioned it the next day on there, some of it, but again, that was that same Nickel City Con, and we were invited along for the VIP party. And I mean, it was one of those where like you see in the movies where, it's a rooftop bar and we're hanging out with all the celebrities. The celebrities are out dancing and partying. And next thing you know, I'm being shoved into a chair next to Brian O'Halloran, and the night dissolves into bar hopping until 4 a.m. with Ming Chen from the Comic Book Men. So yeah, that was an interesting one.
That was more memorable for you than it was for me. I'm so angry that I couldn't do that.
It was our own fault that happened to you, because we decided we were on a mission the night before for Chinese food until like 2 a.m, walking all of Buffalo.
Well, no, it wasn't just that though. It was because the day we got there, I also walked the entire city.
Yes, that's right.
What was it? My thing, my pace monitor said I did like 23 miles that day.
I believe it.
Something was either
in
17
scalding
or 23. Heat. Yeah. Because we get there and we're staying in the hotel that's attached to where Paul works, and we get there, we check in, he gets a discount because he works there, but then he has to go work. I'm like, well, I'm not going to sit around the hotel all fucking day. I'm like, I'm going to go see was it Buffalo?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go see Buffalo. I literally ended up walking. It was 17 miles that day, and then we did another like 6 or 7 that night. That's how it ended up being so many miles. Yeah, so my feet were killing me.
Yeah. And then all day at the con the next day. So yeah. And then trekking out for pizza on lunch break with my coworker at that time.
Yep.
To that weird ass Mall.
That was weird.
Now I only found 2 best of segments for me that I thought were like really shined for me. The first one wasn't too long ago, and that was Paul's Hard Truth about the First Amendment. I thought that one came across pretty good. And the other one I found was when I did Paul's Bad News. Do you guys remember that one?
No.
Oh.
Yogi Berra's passing. And the whole segment was me confusing him with Yogi Berra.
Was I there for that one?
You had to have been, because I can't see me doing a sports segment without you. I remember the end of it had something to do with me saying something about a picnic basket. Kevin, what are your memorable moments from GeekPod?
I really don't remember most of anything we've done together, to be completely honest.
That means it's good nights usually.
I mean, I guess that's good, right? I've never gone back and watched any of them, so. I did subscribe to this podcast before I started being on it. Now I'm not really so sure I want to know.
That's most people's feelings.
Yeah. Well, once you're a part of it, you don't want to know anymore. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up episode 50. That was kind of a shining moment for us.
Yeah, that was a good episode. That was the one we did at your dad's place, right?
Yes, and we had like 7 people around the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. We had a lot of the people that we've had on over the course of the first 50 episodes. So I liked it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought that was a great one.
Hey, Corbs, why is Darth Vader trimming an olive, and why is it like dripping with pimento? That's supposed to be in the olive, not
under
underneath.
Death Star.
I thought you were kidding.
It's a Death Star bonsai.
Yeah, exactly.
I am kidding, but it just looks like
God.
an olive.
It does.
It does now.
The funny part about it is I got home from dinner tonight and I sat down at the computer. I'm like, I gotta get some backgrounds for tonight. Just have some fun. So I grabbed my son and said, help me find some backgrounds. And he picked this background up.
It's not a bad one. I'm not going to lie. It's not.
No, unless he's an
Other
olive.
ones for
Right.
later on too.
There you go. So we're closing in on our second break. Anything else that we should touch upon in our 7 years reminiscing?
So many things. Whiskey Hollow was a blast, even though none of that ever got to be used.
Which was referenced in the opening, right? The $20
Yeah.
Walmart camera. Yes.
Yep. I still wish everybody could have heard. Man, I worked so hard on that segment.
It was a good one too.
Yeah, I don't. Al, you might not. Maybe you know this. I think I brought it up. Kevin, you wouldn't. So we went out to Whiskey Hollow. Do you know what Whiskey Hollow is? Kevin?
Sounds familiar.
It's a woodsy place that's supposedly haunted. So we went out there, and the idea was we were going to record, but we also stopped at Walmart and got this cheap video camera thing. It was like $20-$30, and I had memorized the entire speech that the girl gives in Blair Witch.
Oh, no.
Okay, except through a few specific references to us and some in jokes. And when we got there, I had was I holding or Laura was holding the camera? I forget who it was, but I did the whole thing. The thing was such a piece of shit. You couldn't hear or understand anything. And I mean, I don't usually get upset when something falls flat or doesn't work, but I mean, that was. Had we done that now and had the proper equipment, I mean, it would have been the equivalent of my award-winning performance. I think it would have been as close as I got.
That should have been a really good one, but again, with not knowing our limitations with tech,
we figured it would be good enough.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
So that being said, Paul, your friend there that does the ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we do something like that again? Like
we can, and we intend to. I think that's going to be
something crazy like that. Like, just have some fun with it and Obviously we got better equipment now, and obviously there's more better equipment out there to do it, so we could do something stupid like that. Not stupid or whatever, but just go out and do.
No, it'll be stupid. It definitely will be stupid.
It has to be.
No doubt.
Well, if it's going to be us, it's going to be stupid. That. So.
No, but that's going forward. I want to do stuff with that. We've talked about this for a long time. Wanted to do like on location ghost hunting stuff, and I think partnering up with the Grid After Dark. I mean, I think this will give us the opportunity we wanted out of it, and I think with as unique as he is, I think it could really be comedy gold. So we could have a lot of fun with it. And again, I know I've brought him up a few times already, but Josh Grosvent has expressed interest in ghost hunting with us. So, I mean, that could be cool. And that could also reopen some doors for us.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking over my list here and seeing if there's anything else I want to jump into before we get into that.
I'm gonna wait till the next break.
Yeah. So, I think we should jump right into it. And I think now is a good time to debut our Where Are They Now segment. So stay tuned, guys. You're going to go into that segment, and then we'll hit a commercial break again, and then we will be back. All right, guys, welcome to our Where Are They Now segment. And the best way to start these segments is to reach all the fucking way back to episode 1 titled Pilot Error. We started that with the Oest of the G's, my best friend since middle school, JT.
Junior high, maybe.
Say hi. Middle school, junior high, it's all the same to me. I mean, that's when I peaked.
We won't ask what you peaked at.
I mean, it's clearly known that I've got the Irish curse, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to find out what's happened to all of the past of GeekPod, like everyone who's jumped ship or thought better of it, maybe, and went on to greener pastures or just tried to distance themselves as best they could. So JT, what have you been up to since that fateful day 7 years ago?
Pretty much what I was doing back then.
Working, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So like I said, guys, this one's going to be a lot different than the other ones because we don't have a lot to pull from. Jeremy was on for just the first episode, and then he kind of realized real quick that this was not for him. This was way back. Now, do you remember this? Where we recorded in what is now Kristen's office, and I think it was the two of us on a tiny TV tray table, like hunched over microphones.
It might have been a folding table, but
did I have the folding table out?
Yeah, I mean that room's been multiple things, and
isn't that where we recorded too, Paul?
Yes, 2 and 3, episode 2 and 3 were also there.
I just want to know, did you make it all the way through the episode before you realized what a bad idea this was?
I didn't think it was a bad idea. I just didn't think it was for me.
He did tell me when I texted him about this that he didn't think he did a very good job, and I'm like, that's probably my fault because there was no preparation, kind of like it still is to this day. But we sat down and I was like, "You ready to go?" Boom, and then we started. So I mean, my guidance skills have increased a little bit since then. So I mean, now it's 24 hours before we start an episode, and I'm asking about what we're gonna do. So
yeah, maybe.
Not now.
Like not right now?
24 seconds. Is that what you said? 24 seconds.
I mean, that's probably also, that was definitely legitimate for when we were recording in person. We would sit down and be like, okay, so what do we want to do?
I don't really want to talk about Paul's 24 seconds. So that's not
Trust
really
me.
my business.
That's for his wife.
She doesn't want to talk about that either. So again, very limited, but what do you remember from that day? Like, does anything stick out to you?
Other than sitting at that little table and trying to figure out what we were doing, trying to figure out where the cords all plugged in, and
That sounds familiar, doesn't it, guys? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a totally different idea, because my what I want to ask everybody is their first impression when they sit down with these guys. Well, your first impression goes back more than 30 years. So, I mean, you might need a whole different episode just for you to sandbag me on that one.
my first impression of you.
I mean, yeah, because literally your first impression of these guys was 2 minutes ago.
Let's see. Do we want to talk about the curly hair or the what were they? Parachute pants?
Hey, I wasn't the only one back then.
Skater.
Wait a minute. You had hair
Why do you think he keeps it short?
and parachute pants.
Yeah.
Dude, you got no idea Friday night's gonna be for you.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can dig up pictures and throw them out there. Thanks, JT. Now I remember why I didn't invite you back.
You asked first impression.
Yeah.
Some skater kid, right?
Now, right after the MC Hammer phase, did you have a Fred Durst phase? Because I can totally see that too.
That was college. That's what.
When are you going to grow out of that one?
Probably never.
Yeah. Which college was that?
He's not wrong. There's been 3 at least. No.
Did you only graduate for 1 though?
2. The one in the middle, not so much.
Hey, Meatloaf says 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So
Yes, he does. Guys, anything you guys want to ask him about?
I wish I knew you well enough to ask you a question. I have no idea.
Ask me about Paul. I can tell you about Paul.
What's the most embarrassing thing you can tell us about Paul? And to him, not you.
Oh, only one thing?
You choose.
Do you want to hear about a face plant?
Oh God, that was a great story. Yes, do it.
We used to hang out at Paul's cousin's house. They lived by a mall, and we were goofing. We always went down to the mall and goofed around. Well, we were walking back from the mall, and we were all goofing around, and we decided to make silly jumps over this guardrail. You know, kind of kick your feet off to the side or whatever. So I jumped over. One of our other friends jumped over, and then Paul comes up and he catches his foot on the guardrail and right on his face.
Launched
we
over.
were dying.
Yeah.
I had to see it. You know?
Yes. Let me paint the picture for you. Like you said, I'm bringing up the rear on this. Jeremy goes and just hops it without a problem. Our other friend, Eric, who was very athletic and was actually on the track team and did hurdles, so it was nothing to him. And then I'm going to paint it for you as it was in my mind. I'm flying, which means I was probably doing about a snail's pace. And I leap to go over it. And like you said, kick the legs out, all toe right into the guardrail. And I literally started somersaulting and planted face first. And I think I landed hard enough that didn't a blade of grass like cut my temple?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was laughing.
Right, you're laughing too hard. That was probably my first concussion.
First in a long line of many.
Yes. So any interest in podcasting again? We do swear here, so you're allowed to tell me. Fuck no.
Probably not.
Yeah, no. Like I said, that was pretty quick that he was just not comfortable, and you can even hear it on the first episode if you guys go back and listen to it. He is just you can tell he's squirming at the mic, like he just does not want to be there. And I'm only doing this for my best friend is what I want.
Maybe a way to hang out. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we'll go back to going to Hooters on Wednesday nights. Yeah, and then they close it. Anything to add, Corbs?
No, I'm just still picturing you with curly hair and parachute pants. I'm sorry. It's just I'm gonna bring that shit up all night on Friday.
Maybe the recurring theme. Now you have to understand that it wasn't like white guy afro curly. It was like I was growing it out, and the whole entire back part of the mullet was literally like curls.
So you're like pro wrestler Hart family curly.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? Like kind of Hitman Hart, just without muscles or
You're not making the picture.
Talent.
Either.
salads.
No, I said talent.
Very true. Yes. Or those cool shiny pink glasses.
I had a pair of those. Don't laugh.
I'm not surprised. Really not.
I wore them during baseball.
Okay. Not the same shiny ones, but I get you. Hugh, any final wrap ups before we let him get out of here? We can see he's squirming again. He really.
No. Well, let's let the torture stop.
All right. Finally, anything you want to plug to our fives audiences members we have? Anything you want them to reach out to, go to, check out?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Oh, no. I don't publicize anything, you know.
That's very true. I think we've been friends on Facebook for like 9 years, and I don't know if I've ever seen you post on.
I don't hardly get on Facebook.
Yeah, you're a smart man.
Smart man.
Well, all right, Jeremy, thank you for coming. We appreciate you coming back. And like I said, guys, like without him, this wouldn't have started. Like he facilitated the beginning of this. And I mean, honestly, if you would have said no that first day, I probably wouldn't have got this off the ground.
I don't know. You were pretty into it.
Yeah, you were pretty hardcore when you asked me too. So
Yeah.
that the next week after Jeremy said he was out.
It was done and I scrambled. But look, you've made it for 7 years. You put up with my shit for 7 years on here.
Who, me?
Yes.
No, I was calling for a while too. So
Oh, that's true. You
No,
went away for a bit.
that would be me.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Like you said, I think we've tortured him enough. Jeremy, thanks for coming back.
And we are back, and we have Andrew with us. Andrew, how are you?
I am still among the living.
That is fantastic to hear.
Depends on who you ask.
That's kind of been your whole life, though, hasn't it?
To be honest, yeah, it has. But, I don't care about them.
I know the feeling, though. So what have you been up to, man, since the last time we saw you?
Oh, boy. Basically the same, just living life. Working, coming home, gaming, petting the dog, drinking beer. Nothing special, though. Not like you.
No special beer?
No, I mean, I have gone to that branching out place, and I spent like $80 there on my first try. Yeah, the missus said, "Yeah, go ahead, do what you want." So I was like, "Oh, okay." Lots of good stuff there, and I pet
Barley.
Barley, yes, when he wasn't trying to catch sky raisins.
Sky raisins?
Flies.
Oh.
Come on, man. I even caught that.
Wow. If Paul caught it, it was a simple one.
That was a softball. Yeah.
Must have been those
We're gonna have a theme in all of these. Are you starting to see the theme here that everyone's gonna bag on Paul?
That's how it happens.
I mean, isn't that the premise of the show?
I mean, I think that is in the write-up now. Yeah.
Huh?
Well, it will be on Friday night. I know that.
It's like running a what on Paul? A train?
No.
Oh,
No, thank you.
wouldn't be
No.
the first time. Come on now.
Now I remember why he's not on the show anymore. All right. Sorry, I completely derailed you there.
Yeah.
Continue on, Hugh, or did you want me to?
Go ahead. Take it. You've got the questions there.
Okay. So when you first got brought into GeekPod, which I believe was our Star Wars episode we did in preparation for The Force Awakens. So we're going way back to 2015.
Wow, I was
Yep.
12 years old. No.
You were touching 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Some things never change.
Slave to
That
my
is a
passion.
horrible joke I probably should not make in this day and age.
Probably not, but
I'm going to leave it in.
Hey, I'm a slave to my passion. What can
that's
I
what
say?
he said.
Leave it in. Oh, boy.
This one.
I miss you guys.
We missed you too. But that night, when you came over to record, what was your first impression of the crew?
These guys are fucked up.
I mean, I think we had the same impression. Yeah.
Well, Hugh's known me for a number of years, and why he even suggested in the first place, I was like, this is going to end badly.
Yeah, but you know what, Andrew? And this is going to be probably a shock to the world, but you are one of my favorite people, and that's a very short list.
Aw. Cut it out.
And he did sell me on that. Like, he's like, this guy, he's one of my favorite people. He's real fun. He's different. Like, I warned about you. And I remember, like, before it, I was very apprehensive. And I kept telling you, I'm like, I don't know. If this guy's what you say is, like, this might be a one-off thing. But, I mean, we had a blast with you. And you were one of those great personalities that just... I hate to say it this way because I really don't want to give him an ego, but you really shine through. Like, especially the best part about that episode for me was, and I believe that was the one we called the unmolested clone.
Yeah.
Was the fact that he literally took all of us on in Star Wars trivia and kicked the living shit out of all of us alone. It was him against everybody else.
Not so much with the new stuff though, but the original trilogy, somewhat on the prequels, and the new ones. I admit I'm not too awfully thrilled with them. I mean, I've watched them all numerous times. My favorite line of all the sequels. Best line ever, right there. I don't know. I mean, you are using the video, right?
Yes.
So people are going to see that. Right. I mean, it doesn't really come through on audio very well.
I could actually hear it, though, oddly enough.
Yes.
Oh.
So you do have a good mic going there.
Oh, cool. I just bought it 4 hours ago.
Oh, he put money into this.
Wow.
I did. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay.
But
don't
now
tell
he
them.
knows the camera's on, so we have to watch it. Do you know how to? Can you blur things on Zoom?
I can edit if I had.
Okay.
We can also drop a segment if we need to.
Now I don't recall here because this is going back a ways. Corbs, have you met Andrew? I mean, yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we did
I
a few
wasn't-
shows together.
Yeah, a couple of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, for you, Andrew,
Yes, sir.
you're missing. Get in there. Just
Yes, sir. That's what she said. Get in there.
Right. No, she didn't. I think that was please stop. What do you have for Geekpod memories? Like, what jumps out to you for all the stuff you did with us? Because you did a lot of our live events with us. You picked up the slack when we couldn't be there for stuff. So you guys...
B-team.
B-team, yes. Yeah, and you would be proud. You would proudly proclaim that. I know your co-host on that wasn't so happy to be called the B team, but you were all about it. So I'm
yeah, let's do it. Let's kick this thing into overdrive. Do what we gotta do. And I like to think we did pretty good.
Yeah, you carried the banner. You definitely did. But back to the original question: what sticks out for you when you think about GeekPod?
J. Dave.
J.
David Spurlock. When I was geeking so friggin' hard, the guy who he did the Frank Frazetta. Hey, wow! Well, you look at that. The book's right there. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a word and I can't freaking remember it.
He represents the estate.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the guy. Yeah. And it was just the wealth of knowledge that that man has about Frank Frazetta and all his various works, and not just the artwork itself, but the stories that went with it. A guy named James Silk wrote a series of books about one of Frazetta's characters, Death Dealer, Gath the Ball. And it was like, wow, somebody I can actually geek to, and they don't give me this like blank stare. It was pretty amazing.
Did you ever finish editing that and release it, Paul?
I'm waiting for the opportune time to release it, but it is actually ready to go. I want to read him and let him know that years later we really are going to get it out.
I was wondering about that because I remember that was a big challenge.
It was, because the way he jumped around with stories, and then, sorry, we're pulling back the curtain here for you. And then he was very specific about how he wanted to be portrayed in it. So he really challenged me on what I had to do for editing. And we all know I went through a streak where I was not involved at all in what was going on with this. So like there was time I was not invested in the show at certain points, and that was one of the things that it fell apart for me there. Like I couldn't focus at that point.
We call that the blue period, right?
Yeah, there's that. And then there was the following after the blue period. We'll call that the ooh period. So anything else other than that night?
Those periods really suck. I'm sorry, I totally lost track. What was that?
Memories that stick out for you. If you lost track, I'm thinking there probably aren't too many more.
No, let's see. There was the various and sundry. I think we interviewed Joe Jusko a couple times.
Yes.
And Smoking Joe Sunnett, may he rest in Odin's arms.
Yeah, that was a rough interview. I'm pretty sure he had no idea what the hell we were asking him to do.
I remember him just looking like, he had a like what the fuck look on his face, like a lot.
Yep,
but
he was
completely understandable.
But he was such a nice guy that he was down for anything.
Yeah. Then there was there's a lot of moments. There's Kevin Conrad. He's a pretty cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to the cons, and just the random people that would come around and hey, how you doing? What's going on here? What are you guys doing? And we're just sitting here like shooting the shit basically until somebody interesting comes along. You're welcome to sit down and be interesting with us.
All right. Be funny, motherfucker.
Or else I got a knife in my bag.
And I distinctly remember you having quite a splash when you showed up to Zombie Ball.
Zombie Ball was fun. I quite enjoyed that.
If you don't remember what I'm talking about, Hugh, he had the peeled back scalp for his costume.
Okay.
Pretty. By the time he showed up, we were a few in. Just that was the night we were dodging the DJ. We had to keep it down because the sound was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very loud.
Yes.
Well, you kind of expect that at that venue.
Right.
Sorry about that.
Exactly.
Sound very loud. But
anything else?
No, just good. Good to see you.
good. Yes, excellent. See you. Blah blah blah. Hi.
Blah blah blah. He says.
Yeah, I'm a few in too. So
There you go. Anything to plug, Monty? Like, have you got any projects going on other than life?
I don't myself, but I know we talked about it. Like I don't know, it was a while ago, and you just kind of gave me that. Yeah, okay. And then like now something completely different. I had this idea that you should have a segment of taking like porn and doing like reviews on it, and like and like kind of like Mystery Science Theater 3000. Sitting there watching it, it's like, oh my god, like, watch out for that, kind of thing. Give it like a final review, like this film has earned like 3 full boners, instead of stars, something like that. I think that would be, definitely out of the pale, and one of the more bizarre things that you would hear on podcasts pretty much anywhere.
It's a good idea, but you're going to run into trouble there because you have to have the sound. You can't show it, obviously, without the rights. And it'd be funny if you didn't show it, like we could see your reactions, but not it. But you'd need the sound. And Paul, I don't know, does like DMCA cover like the actual dialogue and sound in a movie like that? Like if you were doing a regular movie, wouldn't YouTube catch that like it does music?
Yeah, probably. And I don't know where the fair use license would hit with that. Because I think if it's under like 15 seconds or something, usually you don't get spanked for it.
No, that's real sex, not a porn.
There's nothing wrong.
No, I didn't say you can't spank to that. Just trust me, I could spank to the commercial. But I mean, there's a whole lot of new challenges now that we're doing video for that. But you know what? I say we leave it up to the audience, see what they want to say about that one. The look on Corbs's face is priceless already, knowing the fact that his girlfriend is about 50% of the audience.
I thought you were going to say porn star. I was like, no, please no.
Corbs, does she count listening to the podcast as spending time with you? Like quality time?
Oh, see?
No.
They're not in that phase yet.
No, she critiques my performance, like in other things too.
Leave me alone. I already listened to you for 2 hours today.
Right.
Don't touch me there. What?
I'm sure he gets that too. So yeah, that's great. Any interest in coming back if we need you for other projects other than your porn review?
Yeah. Duh.
I think when it at least comes time for a new Mandalorian, we should have him in for that discussion.
Just bring the Beskar.
Okay, I can do that. It's on my desk.
Sweet. I've actually seen people making Damascus steel.
Oh, really?
And selling them for like $300-$400 as like a genuine Beskar. Like you do realize that that's a fictional artifact, right?
Fictional character. Yeah.
Some people have too much money.
We're not those people.
Oh, too much.
But if any of those people wanted to sponsor the show, I'd be all about that.
Yeah, porn stars. I mean, they got a lot of money, right? And we'll plug them for free.
Gotta go.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah, they've already been plugged though.
And for something completely different.
Yeah. I think that about wraps it up.
Hopefully they do. Filthy bastards.
They have to these days, I think. There's all sorts of laws about that now.
It's like this is the joke that won't end. I regret starting it now.
See what you've done.
Yeah, but which end though? That's the whole thing.
See?
That's the question she asked. That's the whole thing.
And the hits just keep on coming. Literally coming.
Wow, we can't stop. All right, I have to put an end to it because we're running out of time anyway. All right, Andrew, thanks for coming back, man. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you, kids. It means a lot.
All right. And for the rest of our audience, stay tuned to the future because I got a feeling you're going to see more of Monty again.
Woo-hoo!
And we are back with our third Where Are You Now segment. And lo and behold, it is my beautiful oldest daughter, Lana. Hi, Lana. How are you?
I'm good.
It's great to see you, especially for me, because like I was saying before we started recording, it's like the fourth time I've seen you since the pandemic started, which sucks. So we wanted to catch up. You were a pretty big part of the show for a while, and we just wanted to see, first of all, I mean, what's been going on? I mean, I know what's been going on, but for everybody else, what's been going on?
I mean, not much. I've just been working and, staying home, doing my part. I work at the liquor store. I mean, not much, honestly.
Well, how's the job going, I guess?
I mean, it's good. As good as being a liquor store cashier can be. I mean, you can imagine the people that come into the liquor store.
Oh, it has to be so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's basically people like me.
It is you, Paul.
Not like rude people.
Oh, well, no, I'm not rude to them.
That's good.
You never know what you're going to get.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to find out, what your thoughts were on, when you first came to the show. So, I mean, I'm sure, when you first saw us for the first time, you probably thought, oh, that's my dad and he's being an idiot. But for, everyone else or even me, I mean, what were your thoughts and impressions when you first came on the show?
I mean, I thought it was kind of cool. I was on it a lot, but I didn't really have anything to say, so I just kind of sat there and listened and laughed once in a while or asked a question. But I thought it was cool. I enjoyed listening to you guys.
It was really, for me, it was just to be able to spend more time with you doing something.
Oh yeah, that was nice. I did enjoy that aspect of it.
I know we struggled for a long time because we wanted to find a segment for you, and we had a hard time pegging something. I remember saying, okay, let's come up with something you want to talk about, and hey, Lana, have you got your segment together? No, I'll do it in a little while.
Yeah, I am a procrastinator.
Meanwhile,
for sure.
I'm putting on my shoes to leave to go to recording.
Yeah, I'm in the car Googling things.
Yep. What are your most fond or maybe most unfond memories of your time with GeekPod?
I liked going to the conventions. I thought those were cool. I enjoyed seeing all the people in the costumes and stuff. And all the regular people that we knew from going to so many. All the cosplayer friends we had.
Now,
I thought that was pretty cool.
If you'll remember, Lana was responsible for getting us our first cosplayer guest on mic.
That's right.
Yes, who has become a huge friend of the show since then.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, if you don't remember, that was Christina Levinsky. I hope I got her last name right. Yeah, she was Power Girl.
Yep, Power Girl. That's what she was.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, that was the first time we ever got a cosplayer to come hang out. Well, Lana got her to come hang out.
There have since been many very interesting conversations with her.
Yes.
Nice. That's good.
She definitely does not hold back. Any other guests or people that stand out for you?
Not really. I mean, I gotta say my memory is not great. But I remember that one guy who made movies. Leave me alone.
What guy that made movies?
Nick. No.
What movie?
He was in We interviewed him once at Paul's dad's apartment, I think.
Oh, Matt. Okay, I'm going to
There
screw
you
this up.
go.
Matt
Lipke,
Lipke?
Lipke, yes.
Yep,
He
there
was
you
the
go.
Whiskey Hollow guy. Yes.
There we go.
Yeah. You know what? We've never spoken to that man again.
No.
But I still see his stuff sometimes on Facebook. He posts what new show he's working on.
Yes. Yeah, somehow he hasn't unfriended me yet.
Go figure. Now, Corbs, do you have any questions? Anything you want to throw out there?
Not really. It's just nice to see Lana again. I mean, like I said, you guys said, we said she was a big part of the show, and now she's not. I mean, obviously she's got her own life going on, and with the pandemic, it's just nice to see people again. It's nice to see, everybody that we've talked to in the Where Are They Now segment. So, but that's it.
Yeah. So what Corbs is trying to say is, when Lana started doing the show with us, she was a kid, kind of didn't have a choice. Hugh kind of said, "Hey, you're going to be part of the show," and then now she's an adult, and she's like, "Fuck these old bastards," is what it is.
I mean, I just don't really have like much to say. I mean, the pandemic doesn't allow for very much like doing things, so I haven't been doing very much.
No, I get that.
You know?
Neither have we. Like this is it for us.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But oddly enough, with the pandemic that hinders life for everyone else, like we have more output in GeekPod than we've ever had before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because everyone's at home bored.
Right. It's all we can do.
So we're
Right.
actually weekly every Friday. We're doing it. I mean, this is video.
Nice.
This is all, we're now a video podcast. What do you call it? Video cast?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Video podcast.
We should know because we're making them.
A show.
Right?
Internet television? Can we get our side cards?
I don't know about that.
Hey, that's an idea. But yeah. So I mean, I guess that's all the questions. I don't know if we've been asking everybody if there was anything they wanted to plug. I mean, I know you're not doing anything, but we'll throw it out there. Is there anything that maybe you want to bring up, or bring to the audience's attention?
Not really. Not particularly.
And don't feel bad, Lana. That's been everybody's answer too.
Yeah.
Everyone just like, dude,
That's comforting.
I'm not doing anything, man. Like it's
You could have been like, these purple lights behind me are fucking fantastic. Go buy them at Five Below, and that would have been better than any response we've gotten.
I got
so
them
far.
on Amazon. They're Govee brand.
look at that. She's plugging. Now I have to. Now I'll flash the link to that at the bottom of the episode.
Yeah, and all of a sudden we'll be getting a email saying, "Hey, would you like to try out our new product for free? We'll refund you after you've purchased it and given a review."
Right.
Nice. Yeah. It's exactly what you need.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps things up. Thank you very much, Lana, for showing up tonight and talking with us. And I don't know. I mean, if you have any interest or you want to come back on sometime, let us know. Door's always open.
Of course. Yeah. It was nice to see you all.
I mean,
You
if
too.
this ends up being the only way we can spend time together, what's going on?
I don't know, but that was the most
I
exciting
dropped
thing
my
that's happened
phone
tonight.
A little bit, and then it like swiped.
Well, that totally screwed up my goodbye part of that.
Well, apologies about that.
All right, kiddo. Well, I will talk to you soon, and you have a great night.
Alrighty, yeah, you guys too. Thanks
Thanks.
for having me.
Anytime, Lana.
Yeah.
And she's gone.
And she's out.
All right. So guys, stay tuned for our last and final Where Are They Now segment. And that is with the incomparable, the legendary Jack Corbett.
Not
I
related.
can't wait.
We reached out many times to Jack, and he ultimately declined our offer to appear on episode 100 of GeekPod, citing real-world commitments and time constraints. For those newer fans, Jack first appeared on episode 10, Twice a Prick. and quickly became an integral part of the team during our Dimwits era, bringing good-natured enthusiasm and a love for Nightwing in the Attitude Era of the WWF. Being the youngest member of the team, Jack was viewed as the little brother of the gang, oftentimes being picked on by the rest of the guys. Maybe that's why he didn't want to come back. Anyway, Jack brought a youthful optimism and friendliness to every episode or event he appeared at. Memorable moments for Jack include the Valentine's Day relationship advice segment, Dub Smash, the Stolen Phone Saga, and the Five Wits Experience. We wish Jack well in all of his endeavors, and GeekPod misses him terribly. Thanks for the memories, Jack.
Let's get ready to rumble! I've got the power!
Hey, how you doing?
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill.
I'm in a situation here. We have to leave now. Well, no, can we stay a couple more minutes? But dude, no, this is serious. I just farted. I don't know what that means. I tried to fart and a little shit came out.
What it do, Gridlings? You got Grid, you got Andrew, your local historian here. We're in Weedsport, New York tonight at the Erie Canal, where it's still an original section. Gonna check it out. Heard there could be some ghosts along the Erie Canal in certain sections. We don't know what we're gonna find here, but it's worth a shot. We also have my dog, Belle, with us. We're gonna see if she feels anything tonight. Let's all take a walk around this little park and see what we got.
Geek Pod, no way. 100 episodes of laughs and goodness. Get the fuck out of here, man. Congratulations, you guys. This is Tiffany with Sci-Fi Horror Fest and Midnight Beauties. Just wanting to send out you three handsome hunks of congratulations. I'm so proud of you. We love you. And here's to 100 more.
I'm Al Sedano, host of Resurrections and Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast. We were on a bit of a hiatus earlier this year, although we still did put out one episode each month. But we will be back this May as we finish up Adam and Thanos' appearances in the 70s, as well as Infinity Wars and the Infinity Entity miniseries. Join us every other Sunday. Just type in Adam Warlock or Thanos into your favorite podcatcher and we will pop up. Or go to resurrectionsadamwarlock.tumblr.com.
Hi, this is Wayne W. Johnson. I just want to say congratulations to the Geek Pod podcast for reaching their 100th episode. That's quite a milestone, guys. And also to do a little bit of shameless promo, if you don't mind. I was fortunate enough to be a guest on one of their episodes, specifically the ZombieCom episode that was on May 27th, 2017. It's between episodes 64 and 65, so you can check that out either on geekpod.com. And when you spell that out, remember the geek on the two E's, it's reversed, so it's 33. So it's G33K pod.com, or you can go to waynewjohnson.com and you can put that into the search engine and it'll take you right there. So again, congratulations, guys, on reaching episode 100, and we'll see you at number 200.
All right, so we're back. I got a question for everybody. Where do you see the show going in the next, say, 25 episodes? Because we've been doing this now. We've been going at this since every week since what, beginning of March again, where we've kind of gotten into a steady routine where we're doing it and doing it and doing it.
March was only a month ago, dude.
I don't remember when we started.
No, wasn't it December of 2020?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we've been going since December, pretty much every week since December. So we've gone from basically like 80 episodes to now we're up to 100 episodes that quickly. My question to you guys is, where do you see the show going? Do you guys see us going in any direction? Now, we've all done different things. We've tried to do different things. You both, Paul and Hugh, you've had your own segments attached to Geek Pod. Jack and I tried to do a sports one that never really got any ground. And Paul, you and I have talked about maybe trying to pick that up again if I could find a suitable co-host, which I think I could. I just wondered if you guys see this going anywhere. I mean, do you see us? Obviously, I can see us continuing on for the next next 25 episodes, next 50 episodes, whatever it might be. Going pretty regularly, like every week, but not obviously taking a few weeks off and whatnot. I just wondered if you guys see the show going in any different direction. Do you just see us kind of being four guys that are just here fucking around with each other?
I think that we'll definitely, for the next 25 episodes, we'll definitely get to episode 125.
I think that's a good one too. I was thinking 26, but I think yours sounds more logical.
My math is more solid than yours.
That's a running theme for me. I think also
you can't do math. That's a running theme.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I was trying to think as he was saying that. All right, how much further down the shitter can you possibly get at this point? We'd be in like the sub shitter. Is that a thing?
Are you challenging me?
We're talking about the cockles or the subcockles?
Yes, the subcockles of the shitter.
maybe even the colon.
Oh, definitely the colon.
Yeah, I think he's underestimating the number he's throwing at us, because 25 we can probably get through before fall. I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't disagree. I'm just saying. I mean, do we see going in a direction? Are we just going to kind of keep the same format? Do you guys
or is your question really, how long is it going to be before Paul freaks out again? Is that where we're going with this? How long before Paul fucks this up?
I wasn't going to go.
Else counting down the minutes on it.
I don't think that's fair to you, Paul. Not that.
But that is also a running joke. You know what I mean? I mean, just so the audience knows. I mean, like they're as far as I'm aware, but I'm kind of clueless, to be honest. I don't think there's any animosity towards me for basically having a crisis of faith and not being able to go on for a while. And that's all been addressed. I mean, in a different show, which, while I've been told The Fight was a great show, I've also heard it's a really hard listen. And Hale's nodding. Did you listen to that one too?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Nothing wrong with. Sometimes you just got to get it out there.
Yes. Hey. And that was my thought while doing it. I know that's not the show we're here to talk about. That was my thought when I was making that. But in the long run, I think I made it worse on myself because I forced myself to relive it all. And it yeah.
Sorry, it's the corpse, not you.
It took me a second. I knew which way I had to glance.
It's like he's sitting on your shoulder too.
This has become one of my favorite things, is his rotating backgrounds. And Kevin we can forgive because he just doesn't have a background yet. That's coming, honest, at some point.
Well, I put it up there for purpose. It answers the question. the podcast is going to go where no man has gone before.
Look at that. And you know what? That's a good one. With you being the newest member of the team, what do you want out of this going forward, Kev? Like, what would you change if I wasn't such a control freak?
I think it could change.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't think there's anything to really change as far as the format or the topics are concerned. I mean, I think it's exactly what it should be. You know, it's just a bunch of guys, people, whoever, sitting around bullshitting. You know, there's anything wrong with that. You know, the mixture of backgrounds and the mixture of likes and you know, I think it makes for some interesting conversations. I don't know that it's interesting to anybody more than what's in this little group right now, but I mean, you never know. I mean, you never know.
I tend to agree with Kev on that. I think we've got a pretty good thing going at this point. I'm not gonna lie, there's always room to polish our stuff. And I mean, as on air goes, I am the guy that contributes the least out of it now. Like, all you guys have your own segments now, and I'm the idiot that just chimes in the middle. So
you're doing more work than you have for the previous 99. I mean, you are. You're putting a little more effort there. I mean, there was a point of time where, you know, it was like, but, you know, I think you've really stepped up, Paul, and contributed to your own show. I'm proud of you.
This was your baby, Paul. You're the one that started this way back, episode 1, you and JT, and then it just kind of grew from there. I mean, obviously we've had, you know, me, you, and Hugh are kind of the main guys, but then you've had, you know, Jack was here for a while, now Kevin's here. And I think the mix that we end up getting is fantastic. I mean, we all kind of get along. Well, we all get along, but we all kind of rib on each other and stuff like that. I do think it works. I just didn't know if you guys maybe saw going in a different direction, maybe changing some of the segments that we do, type of thing. So that's all. I was just wondering. I don't know.
You want to go ahead first?
Sure. We definitely want to explore the paranormal aspect. That's something we've always wanted to do, and now we have better. We have an opportunity with somebody who's doing it, and I mean, let's face it, just financially, you know, being in different places, you know, back when we did Whiskey Hollow, I couldn't go out and even look at buying cameras. Now, if it came down, if we needed a piece of equipment or we needed a, you know, EMF detector or whatever, you know, we're in a position where we can get things like that, you know, that aren't going to be used a ton, but it's stuff we couldn't do before. We kind of had to do everything with, you know, with glue, cotton balls and popsicle sticks. You know, there really wasn't, you know, money to throw at it besides getting the equipment and trying to get it to run. That being said, I'm definitely for, you know, spinning some things off and doing stuff like that. I think for the most part, the show is what it is. I mean, some segments may come in and go, you know, but I mean, really, I mean, what we've got is good. You know, we've got I mean, like the video game segment, that might get old, you know, with, you know, two of you talking about Valhalla for the next, you know, year and a half, it's going to take you to beat the game. But, you know, the geeks, the news, having the movie review, even before you were doing a movie review, we talked about movies. So I don't know what's there to change. Maybe we need to add more. And something that I know, what I personally think is one of our strengths is we're all funny guys. Maybe not funny every time we talk. We're not funny, you know, in every situation. But if you go back and listen to the number of bits, even stuff that seemed like it was organic, that was actually written, and nobody has any idea, you know, between Paul and I mean, we put together a ton of stuff that doesn't seem like, you know, it just seems like it came out, and it wasn't. I swear between the two of us, we could probably do a stand-up night at least once.
If I wasn't so deathly afraid of crowds.
Yeah. So I'd like to lean more into that ability. You know, just the, you know, the creative side, like, you know, when you guys go back and listen to the opening for the show, I mean, that was less than 24 hours. We were texting about this last night when I finally had time to think about it and, you know, throwing something together. I think we could do a lot more if we put our minds to it. A lot of really good, funny stuff.
Right. And I mean, literally, like, just coming out of what you guys just saw, like I did that Jack segment in 20 minutes. I put that together, and I do like to pat myself on the back because I thought that came out funny as fuck. And
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Poor Kevin and Al are completely lost right now because they haven't gotten to see those packages yet.
You're just trying to make me watch the episode.
Right. We're just going to keep hard selling him on watching it.
Yeah, it's not a matter of using our powers for good. It's a matter of using our powers for anything at fucking all. You know?
Well, I think the thing is this: as long as for whatever, it doesn't matter the segments. The thing is if as long as you're not forcing yourselves to do it, then it's going to work on some level at least. Because as long as you're enjoying doing the things, it'll come across in the show. Those are the best podcasts and things, and shows of that type that I've listened to, where the people are actually enjoying it and they're having fun doing it. So, like you were saying about about what you want to lead into about doing the supernatural stuff. If that's something you guys are like, ooh, we want to do this, then just do it. Don't worry about format so much. Just throw that as an episode or add that in there. And if you get tired of doing the movie review, or if you stop finding things that Ebert wrote,
we will get to the end of those eventually.
Then okay, then you stop doing that, because if you're not enjoying, that's the thing. As long as you're enjoying doing the stuff, the show can keep going on and still be enjoyable to listen to. That's the main thing.
You are 100% right, and I look forward to Friday nights. Like, so much. Like this is one of my highlights every week doing this. And honestly, I know it sounds corny, but like when we miss a week, it bums me out. Like this is the time when I get to hang out with my buddies.
Well, that's evident of the fact that I thought we were going to record on my birthday, and I actually wanted to record on my birthday, and you're like, dude, it's your birthday. We're not recording on your birthday. And I was like, wait a minute. I cut dinner short to come home to record.
well, thanks for making me feel like a dick now.
Well, I mean, I wanted to cut dinner short, but then we ended up coming back home and having ice cream cake and stuff like that. So it ended up working out better that we didn't record. But all the way up until I went to dinner, I thought we were recording.
I mean, we did establish that like long in advance. I'm just gonna say.
Did you just finish talking about comics?
Yeah, and you're right. I just, it's one of those things where I just really wanted to. I really enjoyed coming out here and doing this with you guys. I enjoyed actually sitting in your basement doing it, just sitting there and hanging out with the two of you, having a good time. Eventually, I would even like to get back to doing that at some point, even if it's every once in a while. This is pretty fun too, sitting here doing this and whatnot. So, but
it makes life way easier this way.
Yeah,
because like Hugh brought up when we first started doing this, I mean, we would get together and we would fucking drink like it was our job while we were doing this on some of them. Yeah. And that's dangerous for everybody but me, because it was always at my house.
Right.
So, I mean, we were not responsible.
The other thing is, now that we're a video podcast, doing it in Paul's basement or any physical location is a lot more complicated right out of the gate, because you gotta have enough cameras to cover everybody, and then you have to edit all of that together.
Yeah.
Zoom has given us a medium, while it's not as personal, it's effortless.
True.
But not saying that we can't work it out. We'll figure stuff out for a few one-offs. I've had some ideas about this summer about where we could do one, like out in the back patio with all of us just chilling, hanging out, having some hazy AF beers, and just bullshitting. I mean, even if we go back to just audio for an episode, just to do it, because I could totally set up out there on the $1,600 furniture that Kristen spent the money on.
You're not bitter.
Huh?
You're not bitter.
No, especially since I couldn't find a PS5 this week. I tried 2 days in a row. God damn it. But I mean, I see good things for us. Do I have any illusions that we're gonna hit it big and become the next Joe Rogan now? No, we've got our niche, and I think that's what we're gonna stick with. I think we'll have a lot of fun. We've made some cool friends out of this. I mean, hell, like look at states away. We've got Al, which I'm hoping, by the way, you'll come back on a regular basis.
Sure. Put him on the spot now.
We'll see.
He's like, no, fuck you guys, no.
It's Friday. I won't know until Monday if the check cleared. I'll tell you then.
Who sent that out, by the way? Just
what check?
Al, there might be a problem there. And all of a sudden he disconnects.
Wait, you're paying him?
We don't get paid.
Oh, you guys are supposed to
say
pay
that?
me.
I used to get breakfast pizza every once in a while.
You don't really get that.
You guys are getting pizza?
Man, you'll never let that go. And you shouldn't either.
I was like, there's breakfast pizza right here. I don't know why you guys aren't eating any. That's the real reason he doesn't wants to do Zoom.
Right.
All the food's for him now.
I'm checking notes here. Al, I want to give you a little bit of spotlight. Tell everybody that doesn't know already about your show, because I mean, fair's fair.
All right. Well, it's slightly different from this one in the fact that it's not video at all, and mostly just about comics. But it's about Marvel's characters, Adam Warlock, and which some people may or may not know, and Thanos, which you might have heard of if you watched any of the 19 billion Marvel movies. Are they up to 19? Or they might have passed that number by now. I think they're up to 20 billion now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's all about that and other Marvel cosmic, space type stuff.
Your mini series about death was one of my favorite things.
The ones we're doing, the death episodes? Yes.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Especially with the weird ass ones. Those ones are my favorites.
Oh, those old Golden Age stories of
Yes.
death in it? Yeah, where it's just, the Golden Age stuff is just bizarre. It's just a bunch of guys like trying to put anything together in 24 hours.
Right.
To get it out. So it's all insanity. But yeah, all kind of Marvel, cosmic, spacefaring, multiple reality. So you'll love it, Kevin.
Oh, you picked up on that, huh?
Yeah, so slightly, just a little bit. I think you mentioned it once.
Yeah.
I've always wondered, Al, and you did maybe somewhat answer the question by talking about other Marvel cosmic characters, but I've always wondered, I mean, you kind of picked like two characters that are kind of connected. And I was like, man, how does he continue to, year after year to do a podcast about them? Because there's a finite number of comic books that include those characters, two specific characters. Do you find it's difficult to mine that history for new topics that are appreciably different from others?
Not fully. I mean, it could be, but the thing is, because a lot of their stuff, like Thanos is a villain, so it's not like he hasn't had his own series a lot. So a lot of his stuff is going to be in different books. So you're going to get different feels, different creators. And so at the very least, you can even talk about those different creators or the different types of stories they're telling with him, from Fantastic Four to Iron Man to Daredevil even. So it's, completely different type of stuff. So therefore it gives you something different to do. Plus and then of course, then there's the episodes that actually are about, the Warlock series itself. So that has its own thing. And then Jim Starlin, who's on most of the work on the two characters, definitely has, he definitely gets into different themes of identity and religion and things like that. And he uses them to tell those stories. So it definitely gives you some fodder to do that.
Okay.
Different fodder to talk about, which is one of the reasons I picked those guys, as opposed to some other books that could be about a lot less of there's a lot more surface, so once you talk about he punched him and they punched her and she body slammed him. All right, that's over. We're done.
Right. And I got to tell you, what you do is not easy. Like that, you have talent, my friend, because the few times you've had us on just to do the friends and enemies thing, it is so hard to come up with stuff on the fly to discuss about just a single issue of something. Like that's what we do is so much easier than what you do. And you do it well.
Oh, I don't think what you do is that easy, but I'll take the compliment still.
All I know is being on the show with you, I was fucking terrified.
Oh, you were fine. You both were.
I felt like I couldn't come up with anything funny because, like I said, I've been listening along, so I'd listen to the other people doing this stuff with you, and I'm like, I don't have anything funny to say, and I don't have, and I pride myself on my comic knowledge, but I can't pull this shit out of my ass like you guys do. Like I'm seriously impressed with what you guys do on that.
Oh, it's called just getting over life, and therefore you can remember all that stuff.
I mean, there's that. I mean, And then I also would like, again, the concussions, that takes up a lot of space up here. So
have you tried reformatting that?
What, hit it harder? What? I mean,
I don't know. Format the hard drive.
I'm not taking a drill to it.
Just shake them next time you see him a little bit. See if it's like an Etch a Sketch resets everything.
Is that what your wife was doing during sexy time? Trying to reformat you?
Yeah. How often is that going to come back to haunt me now?
I don't know.
She gets as much as the hair and parachute pants. So
we're going to address that.
But once she gets out of it, she just shakes him a few times. He thinks it happened.
I forget. Yeah.
Where are we going to? No, we did it right. It was awesome.
Yep, you were done. Thanks.
My world's rocked. I'm gonna go take a shower. Where's my massager?
Just get out. So let's head into the midstream before I get into this nonsense I got worked up for you guys. Who's watching Fear the Walking Dead? I know, Al, that's not your thing, right?
Yeah, I like real quick. I'll get to that then. I like zombie stuff, but a couple of years ago, I kind of got just zombied out with everything. And so I'm just kind of letting it sit for a while until I feel the urge to deal with that again.
So what you're saying is when you listen to us, you tune out the end of our episode, basically? You shut us off early?
Yeah, I kind of listen to go, see if anything makes me want to watch them again.
And it's not happening. Yeah.
I mean,
none of the Walking Dead shows are about zombies, though. Not really.
I know what they're all about. I mean, I bought Walking Dead I was one of the people who bought Walking Dead when it first came out as a comic.
Nice.
Which, by the way, issue 1, if you have it and you have it in good condition, ooh.
I don't. I've got trade paperback. That's it.
I think I got $1,500 for it.
Wow.
Nice. It was one of the times I did the CGC thing, and I think it was like a 9.7 or 9.8.
That's awesome.
Like a year or two ago. So
C Corbs, and this is why we collect comics.
Paid off some bills.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Because I'd never sell mine.
No, but I used that as a great excuse to my parents. I said, "See, this is why I was buying them."
Right.
I could tell them all the thousands of others that are worth nothing.
Which is my entire collection. Yeah.
I'll talk about the one that sold for a lot of money.
Did I tell you guys I had an opportunity to buy Werewolf by Night number 32?
I think so.
First Moon Knight.
Yes. I had to back out of it because he was going to give me a break on it at 400.
Oh.
And it was literally like a 3.6 grade. Yeah.
God, I want to get my last issue of Walking Dead graded, but I looked into it, and I mean, with COVID and everything, it seems like it's a lot more expensive and a pain in the ass right now.
Let's talk off mic. I might have a better option for you.
All right, because I've got, I have the, unopened, unread first print signed by Charlie Adlard. So
that's right. I forgot about that.
Hoping that's worth something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends on, I think, for those things, whether you can prove it's signed by him.
It comes with a certificate. I bought it right from the comic store in the UK that he co-owns. So he does signings there of stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk off mic about that.
Okay.
I might be able to help with that.
And see, over here, this corner is the cool comic guys. You guys can just hang out over there.
I'm going to take a nap.
I was saying, this is what happened, but this is why Corbs didn't know you weren't recording his birthday. You were talking about comics, and you said, "Oh, we're not going to record on your birthday." What?
Right.
Who? Where?
Oh, by the way.
What? What happened? My birthday? We're recording? Cool.
You're not wrong. See, and this is why I want Al around more, because he is already busting your balls. I love it.
That's great.
Oh, look at that. Here we go again. We expected this episode to be long, right, guys?
Yeah.
All right, good. And actually, it looks like it's going to work out perfectly. We're going to have to come back for one more go round, but I just wanted to check as Fear the Walking Dead. That's where we're going with it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Sorry, I diverged that.
Yeah, that's all right. You've listened to our show before. Corbs, take it away. You're the one that wanted to talk about this week, for sure.
I don't know. I was kind of the whole concept with Daniel in the memory.
Wow.
Yeah, that was again. played that part in the beginning of the season. He was doing that when he was doing the barbershop thing with Virginia. He was pretending he didn't know. So my thing became, is he still doing it?
I don't think so. I think this is a result of trauma at this point. And
that's kind of what I thought too. He's had the second most trauma next to Alicia, who's lost her entire family.
Well, and I mean, I don't think it's a happy accident that when he got pistol whipped, we saw that nasty gash he got out of it.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of these movies and shows, like someone gets hit in the face with a gun, you don't see much out of it. And if you notice this week, that cut was healing, but it was still there.
Yeah.
So I think that was by design. And
it was a kind of a shocking episode. I mean, I was like, wow, what the
kicking the
this
gut.
is pretty weird, but yeah. So I like the cutback. Like it was, he had Victor in the prison in the cage, and then he was sitting in the cage talking to. It ended up being June.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
when did you figure out who he was talking to?
Not until the end.
No.
I expected it to be Morgan.
No, I actually expected it to be I expected it to be Victor. Like he was like the roles had reversed.
Kind of flipping the roles, yeah. Like I honestly they got me when they went to the fact that he had Victor locked up. I was like, oh, okay, that's where they did it. They got you. Okay, he's not really in the jail cell. But there was like multiple twists to it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. At first, I thought he actually shot Victor, and it was Morgan that was interrogating him. But as it went on, it was pretty obvious that it was June that was there, and he was pouring his heart out to her. And they were trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Now,
that was a really good episode.
Next question becomes is, does Victor try to get back at him?
I don't think so. Because I think Victor feels sorry for him now.
Victor thinks he owes Daniel. That's why he invited him back, in all honesty. That and number two, Daniel's one hell of a weapon to have in your back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that is one badass dude.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
And then there's Skidmark. I was glad to see him come back.
Yep.
I like cats. What do you want from me?
He don't kill rats for shit, but he's a good cat.
Right. And you know what? You can't go wrong in an episode where they play the Traveling Wilburys. Just saying. Seriously, you guys aren't Traveling Wilburys fans?
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, good. At least somebody's got my back on this. Jeez. Look at I love the disapproving look from Hugh. That's the best.
It's not disapproving. People are allowed to like what they like.
Let me go with it.
Big Roy Orbison fan.
I can see that about you.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. Fuck you.
Because any of us are young. Ale, how old are you? You got to be the youngest guy out here, right?
I have no idea.
You don't know how old you are?
Well, I don't know how old you are.
Hold on.
I know what I am.
I'm 43.
Beat you.
I'm 46.
44.
Got all you fuckers beat.
Okay, so I mean, I'm July of 77.
So wait, Corpse, what year did you graduate high school? 92 or 93?
94.
94? Oh, okay.
I got held back a year, so.
Oh, okay. So we would have been the same year then, 93.
Yeah, I should have graduated in 93. Yeah, I got held back in 4th grade, so I graduated a year later, 94. So, yeah. Nice.
So, I'll be 46 in September.
So I'm the youngest. How the fuck does that work? Okay,
now it all makes sense.
Well, Paul, it's chronologically and mentally, so it fits.
Mentally, definitely. I mean, I'll be the first one to admit that.
Wait, does that mean we have to start calling you Baby Paul?
Please don't.
That would be great.
See, now if we weren't just going with episode 100 for the title, that would be a title there. God damn it.
You never know. That may make an appearance later on in the next couple episodes.
I'm not surprised. You jot it down now?
Oh, I got that right up in here, baby.
It can be hyphenated.
But All right. Why don't we head to break, and we'll come back and we'll wrap this up. I hope. I think.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Stick with us.
Hey everyone over at Geek Pod, this is your friendly neighborhood webcam Nick. I just want to congratulate you guys on 100 episodes. Here's to 100 more. It's empty. I love you guys.
Looking for the hottest new comic on the shelf or a key back issue to complete your run? How about that rare statue or action figure that you've scoured the internet looking for? Come to Collectibles Galore, located in North Syracuse with ample off-street parking. Collectibles Galore has a huge selection of comics, toys, and rare pop culture items you won't find anywhere else. Comics Galore is always buying comics and toys and will give you the fairest price for your collection. New customers get 15% off their first purchase in store. Collectibles Galore for all of your pop culture needs. Stop in and see for yourself why Collectibles Galore is the king of comics.
It is I, Tina Tomel of Kryptonian cosplay. Why am I not Kryptonian right now? I didn't feel like wearing that costume. It's in the picture, and it's fine. So, I'm gonna dedicate my little ditty to my dear friends at GeekPod. I wrote you a poem. I stole the lyrics of the poem, and I'm sure you will know exactly what I'm saying. From comic books to movie night, no genre can escape their mics. Let those who call them friend tonight say congrats on number 100. That's right.
What's up, Geek Pod? The best health and wellness podcast out there. Every time I see you guys, it encourages me to take a walk or eat an apple. 100 episodes. Holy cow. You guys are the best, man. You're the best around. You guys know so many different things about so many different subjects and geekdoms and nerddoms, and it's awesome to listen to you guys for these years now. I've been on the show a couple times. It was awesome you guys having me, and we do a lot of events together and stuff, and especially with Syracuse, New York Comic Con, and the big hand you guys have had to do with that, and I just appreciate you guys so much, and I wish the best for you, and here's to 100 more. Thank you, guys.
And so, guys, that's why you should never agree to work at a comic store when they're going to have the lights off. Anyway,
Wow.
now
I'm sorry, man. I feel so bad for you.
Yeah, but you pay for the house, so you know it works. Anyway, and now we're back, and I believe we're talking about movies. Or
yeah,
what's in your stream or peeing or something like that. I'm not sure what that was about.
Midstream. Mortal Kombat released. And apparently a couple of us have seen it.
Well, two of us.
That would be a couple. We're not a couple. Just
Okay.
Mortal Kombat. Anyway. Hugh, what did you think of it?
I enjoyed it a lot. Everything about it I felt was spot on, except, and I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, I did not like the actress who played Sonya Blade. I mean, maybe she's proficient and good in other things, but and I'm not even. Yeah, I don't even want to say that. I mean, there wasn't anything wrong with her performance, I guess, but and it's not a matter of like one of those purist things where like, oh, well, she was wrong for the part. Everybody else in the movie like embodied their character, and hers. I mean, she's really. I mean, she's the person who doesn't have the mark for, in the beginning, and she's kind of almost like your point of view character to a degree. Because everyone else has powers and she's just a regular human. And I just could not identify or cross that bridge with her. I just, in with somebody different, putting a different spin on the performance, I know that could have been better.
I agree. Like she was kind of unlikable in it. I wasn't meh. And I think most people are saying it, but you know who I loved in that movie? Was fucking Kano.
Oh, he was great.
Oh, he was one of the best I saw. Was a buddy of mine out of Rochester says, Will Smith Bradley Cooper, like, you guys can go home. Like, this year's Oscar goes to the guy that played Kano.
Yeah. Another one that I saw, and I should have looked up his name, and I would have if I had known we were going to talk about it. Hiroshi Takeda, maybe, I don't know. The guy who played Scorpion, he's my favorite Asian actor. I love him, and I've seen him in so many things. And when he popped up, I was like, yeah. And I'm like, man, I wish he would do something where he's actually in it for the entire fucking movie, and not just like a cameo or the bad guy who shows up or the good guy who gets killed.
Right.
Haruki Sanada.
Oh, Sanada. Yeah. Okay. Haruki Sanada.
Him.
Yeah. I knew I was butchering it.
He was in Endgame, huh?
What?
He was in Endgame, it says.
What part?
Was he a mocap character?
I think he played one of the Yakuza guys that
Yep. He was the boss. Yeah, you're right. That was him.
Oh, no kidding.
But yeah, I love him in everything he does. He did a Sci-Fi Channel series a few years ago. I forget what it was now, but it's like some scientists working at I think a remote Arctic outpost or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, whenever you see him pop, you recognize him. He's just like the guy who played Shang Tsung in the original Mortal Kombat. When you saw him, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen him in tons of shit. Same thing here.
Right. Now, did you notice? And have you played? Going back to the video games. Did you notice in Mortal Kombat 11, Shang Tsung, like they made him look like the guy that played him in the 90s?
I didn't. I've not played 11. I've only played up to 10.
Okay. And it's only fresh in my mind because I started playing last week. So I saw him, I'm like, that's the dude that played him in the movie. But and that I think kind of took me out of the new movie, is because the guy that played Shang Tsung is not that guy from the 90s.
Yeah. And I think that I understand why they didn't, this is almost like backstory for the next movie. That there's definitely a feeling that, this has to go somewhere else, because they didn't really even get to the tournament. But
they sidestepped the tournament.
Yeah. Taking that out, it was a great movie. Most of the characterizations were spot on. The special effects and the fighting were top notch. Got to see some really cool moves that you've seen in the game, like the ice wall. I mean, that was in the trailer, so everyone knows that the ice wall that you wouldn't necessarily have seen back in the original 90s Mortal Kombat movies. I walked away happy.
I had so much fun with that movie. Like, I giggled through that whole movie, especially with like the over the top gore. Like, I was so happy with it. And Kristen watched it with me, and she literally has no idea what Mortal Kombat is. Like, I was like, you grew up in the 90s. How does that happen? And we were at the same college when we were growing up. Fresh out of high school, we found out we were at the same college. And
did she go to classes though? Is that maybe why?
Maybe she went to classes. I didn't.
Yeah.
But but I'm the one that graduated from Morrisville, not her.
Day one, somebody pointed at him and said, "Don't talk to that guy."
Right. Stay away from him. Probably true. That's why she didn't end up in the recording booth at the. Never mind. Anyway, stories to tell off mic. But our after hours food place, it wasn't really a cafeteria, but we had one like you could go in the evening to get food and stuff and still use like your meal card and stuff, all that. It had a Mortal Kombat 2 machine right in there. I spent a lot of time there. And so I to her, I was like, how did you never, at least brush up against this? And she looked at me and said, I wasn't a dork. She was actually started out as a cheerleader and became the cheerleader advisor. So she was kind of coaching the cheerleading team while they were there. So we were in two different worlds there. I was, you're not wrong. I was the one that had the skater haircut and grunge outfits at that point, and she was a cheerleader chick. And we never met while we were there, by the way.
Wow.
So, yeah. I was the guy that was getting attacked by the swans Yes. I could do a whole spin-off show about what the fuck happened to me in Morrisville. But Mortal Kombat. Anything more? I had a blast with it. I heard there's a lot of people who were disappointed with it. Saying
I've
it
heard
was
that too.
just another bad video game movie, but it was fun.
It was better than the first two.
Yeah, I agree.
Way better than the first two.
I was surprised at which of the ninjas was the good guy and which was the bad guy.
Yep.
That was different to me. I'm trying to dance around it. I don't want to ruin it for you guys that haven't seen it yet.
Really?
What?
This is what we're going with? You're not trying to ruin shit. We talk about ruining shit all the fucking time.
Yeah, but we don't always have Al on the show. So.
True.
I feel all the ninjas are bad guys.
And we kind of want him to come back. So
to be fair, I kind of have an idea from the trailer which was going to be the good guy and which is the bad guy.
What do you think?
Oh, crap. Now I'm trying to remember. I think it was going to be, it looked like Scorpion was going to be the good guy and Sub-Zero the bad guy.
You're not wrong.
See, not ruined.
Right. Okay. And also, I kind of didn't like the way they shoehorned it in with him saying he was Scorpion.
What do you mean?
It was literally a throwaway line.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. You know, I kind of wish that there had been a little bit more about what happened to him after what happened at the beginning. Almost, I wish he had earned that spot.
Yes.
More. And I wish he had earned his way in coming back from where he was.
Because the way it was set up, I thought somebody else was going to be Scorpion. And if anybody's watched it, you should know what I'm talking about. Again, I don't want to ruin it for those who haven't seen it yet. But it definitely looks like we're set up for a sequel.
Yeah.
Especially since the guy that played Sub-Zero said he signed on for 4 more.
Who's playing Johnny Blade in the next one?
Nobody yet.
Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, sorry.
I was going to let it go. We knew what he meant.
Yeah, but then, you know, our fact checker would send him angry text messages because he's the movie guy.
It is so funny that it gets brought up, isn't it, Corbs?
It is. No, because the only reason I bring it up is because I saw where
Ryan Reynolds or The Miz?
Miz wants to be.
That would be good casting.
Yes, it would. I think he would be great. I think he would be better than Ryan Reynolds, Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
I don't think Ryan Reynolds wants to do it. I think the fans, he just kind of was like, oh, hey, this is what it would look like if I did it. But I don't think he would do it. I think you would more have to see maybe The Miz in there. And I think he would be a pretty good fit in there too. So
I'd be all about it if The Miz did it. Because, I mean, his WWE character is cocky enough already. I mean, it's just a port over is what it is.
And then they can have Sub-Zero show up on Monday Night Raw.
I see it. I like it. I mean, they did it back in the day with RoboCop.
Yeah.
That was
why not?
WCW. Sorry. They're the same thing. Does no one remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember RoboCop coming. Yeah, that was awful. That was
ripping the door off of the jail cell for Sting. Yeah.
It was embarrassing to be a wrestling fan.
And whoever was in the RoboCop suit could barely walk to the ring. Yeah. All right. What else do we got, guys?
you had something you wanted to show us.
I do, but I didn't know if you want me to get into that right away or not. Kev, you've been awfully quiet up there on the bridge.
That's Kev.
Kev. He's still quiet. What the fuck, dude?
I just trying to figure out how to tell you that I probably won't watch Mortal Kombat.
You
That's
could have
okay.
just said it. Yeah.
You don't have to.
I mean, I haven't watched any of the other ones.
You don't have to. Trust me. But the bigger question is, have you seen Godzilla versus Kong yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Ooh,
I haven't.
sorry.
We talked about that like
Seriously.
weeks ago.
I had to picture Godzilla before, and he's like, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Come on, well, pay attention.
You know I drink through these shows, right?
So does he, and he remembers.
No.
He doesn't remember.
But you drink during every show. You should be used to it by now.
Yeah, no, I liked
Remember that time we were going to start a cult?
Oh shit.
Really, the guy who doesn't drink anymore. You have to drag me into it. That's fair.
I mean, this is the recap episode, right?
Let's not recap that.
All right. Well, if nobody else wants to jump onto this, so I've been saving up a few things, and I wanted to address something that Corbs wants to throw me under the bus for anyway. So,
Bird.
Let me get this set up. Hold on, because I don't want other shit showing up on my screen.
I'm just gonna say it right now. Parachute pants. The hair is a different story, but parachute pants, my friend.
And here we go. Let's see how this works. I'm going to throw it up on the screen for everybody to see. We've got a few things to go over. Is it doing it?
Things happening so far.
Nope.
Nope.
We should be using Teams.
We should be.
What do you do?
I'm kidding.
Can you see anything or no?
No.
Oh.
All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it a different way. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. But I have to go back to the first slide before I do. All right.
It's not doing it.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right.
All right. Now I see something.
You guys have seen this before already. This is our special GeekPod 100 logo. And I say you've seen it before, but it's a fucking lie because you guys haven't seen the open.
Nope.
All right. So first up, I was pumping gas the other day, and I feel like it gave me bad advice. And I just want to know how you guys feel about this. Like I was sitting there pumping gas, and it came across the screen, and it told me this.
Oh no, definitely that's cost me far more.
Now, for those of you
over.
that are just listening to the show, and the screen says "Come inside and save."
Is there a flashlight connected to the pump?
Spelling is important, Paul. Spelling is important. It matters.
I'm just gonna say that no, that is very, very bad advice. You should do the opposite. Yeah, it's the pull and pray is a much better method. Because if you follow this advice, that's where kids come in, and they are very expensive.
Wait till they get older.
Don't even start. Next, and I've been holding on to this for over a month now, guys. This year, I don't know how it happens in your guys' houses that have children, but for St. Patrick's Day, we have a leprechaun that visits the house and usually fuck shit up for us. They'll make messes of stuff. They will pull pranks. Is it just my house, or does that happen to your guys' houses too?
Doesn't happen in my house.
Just your house.
Okay.
Your wife hired somebody.
Well, Kylie's a big fan of this mischievous leprechaun. Thank you. And she wrote a note. She was trying to help him along because usually, he takes a pee in their bathroom and it ends up turning the water green or whatever. And she wanted to help this along. Apparently, she left a drawing with a message for him. This was taped over the toilet. There's a picture of our leprechaun Seamus with a hole cut for his mouth, if you'll see, and it says, "I like number 1 and 2. Whichever one you need to do, please do it in my mouth." Guys, I wish I could make this shit up, but this is real.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And I will prove it when you guys come to the house next time because I saved this fucking picture. It's still stashed away. And finally, Corbs, this is for you, my friend. I want to address what Jeremy said about my 90s style. There's your curly mullet on the
What
left.
the-
And on the right hand side, this was the only picture I could find with my parachute pants, is from when I was in the post standard.
That's not really you.
Those are both really me.
I'm gonna say the one on the left does look a little bit like you, but the one on the right with the parachute pants,
No.
again, parachute pants.
The one on the left looks like Paul after a stroke.
Yeah.
With that little crooked ass smile.
See, that's still real. I really do have that.
But the kicker is there's no facial hair either. I mean, obviously,
I was like 14. I mean, come on.
But dude, the curly hair and the parachute pants. I mean, I don't know. You're killing me here. You're killing me.
It was a different time. Come on, you guys got to admit that.
It wasn't that time ever.
No, that time was never. I don't know. No.
I feel better about my life choices.
Yeah, same here.
So yeah, can I pull these down now?
No.
Please.
We're not done. I'm not done yet here.
Corbs, what more can you say that everybody in his life didn't say at the time?
What's the design of the parachute pants?
70s wallpaper?
No, actually, it's more kind of like modern African design is what we had going on there. I remember those, which is the sad part. Those were in like an electric blue, black, and purple.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
I'm pretty sure they actually matched this shirt.
Okay, I have an honest question for you, and I mean this sincerely.
Okay.
What 10-year-old girl did you steal those from?
No, those were an Ames special. I specifically remember my mom taking me to Ames to pick that stuff out.
In the women's big and tall section, right?
Probably. I mean, whatever was cheaper at that point. So, because we grew up poor. So
I'm going to ask this question: you actually let yourself get a picture taken of you dressed like this, and put in the post standard, my friend?
Now, if this style choice wasn't bad enough, can I tell you that at one point I went to school wearing lycra, like bike shorts?
Good night, everybody.
Wow.
Okay, next question. Was that high school or college?
That was junior high.
Okay.
This was like 92.
Did you have a girlfriend at the time or a boyfriend?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm going to say neither.
Kevin would be correct.
Yes.
I can understand why.
Yeah. Did you have a drinking problem at that time?
I think that was the root of it.
How old was I? I had already begun drinking at that point.
Wow.
I mean, it's the 90s. It was a more relaxed time back then.
Yeah. Sneaking out of mobile home windows was definitely part of my plan.
Dude, you are not going to live that down. You know that, right?
That's okay. And you know what? It's a special episode, so I thought this was appropriate for that. And I'm pretty sure now Al's never coming back after having to see that.
I'm going to find a way to work those pictures into work somehow.
Oh.
So you're saying I should disconnect my external drive from this computer now?
Oh, no, I already have copies. You're good to go.
I am not surprised.
And now I understand the whole thing that JT was talking about, the face plant. Your pants are trying to get off of you.
They were trying to escape. That's all I've got, guys.
Well, I do have an interesting story that happened to me yesterday that you might appreciate. And, your pants kind of segue into this. So I'm at Price Chopper yesterday, and I'm in the frozen food section looking to find the buffalo cauliflower, not the coated ones, just the uncoated buffalo cauliflower steam bags. And Well, first, our neighbor from down the street, was like, "Oh, hey, neighbor." She chats with me for a second. She leaves, and then this guy walks up, and I can hear him talking. And this is where the parachute pants come in. I think he was actually wearing a pair, and he was very clearly gay, and had some colored streaks in his hair. And he had a little girl with him. I don't know if it was a sister, niece, whatever. And he's over at the frozen potatoes. He's looking at the French fries and shit. And I'm over here looking at cauliflower. He's like, "Hey, do you know these zesty Arida fries? Are these really good? Are they like regular curly fries?" And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, the fuck, do I look like I work here? Or did you go, he's fat. He probably knows what these French fries taste like. And of course, it's not the first time I've been stopped in the store. Back when I worked at Verizon and I had, a shirt and tie on, every time I went in a store, somebody would ask me where to find something. I'm so good at it that I can actually tell them where to go in most of the stores I shop in. And when they'd ask, I just tell them. But this guy, I'm wearing a t-shirt, cargo shorts, and Crocs. And he's asking me how these French fries taste. And I'm like, I could say something really mean here, but maybe these French fries are important to him. So I'm like, yeah, I actually have a bag of them in my freezer. They're really good. They're just like regular seasoned fries. I think you'll like them. And he goes, "Okay, thanks." Then the little girl goes, "Man, his hair is really long." And then they walk away. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What was that? What just happened? It's one thing, if you're an old person and you can't find something and you're like, "Oh, Sonny, do you know where the peanut butter is?" But this guy was probably like 18 or 19 or something. Why the fuck would you ask a random stranger what they think of these French fries?
Well, I have a theory.
Oh, all right.
And it has to do with this pandemic. Maybe he's been cooped up. And he's just looking for a way to make a connection with some other human being somewhere, somehow. And that was his stretch.
Maybe.
It's gone dark.
He went with, he picked out the first fat guy he saw. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, I'm not going to say that it wasn't with purpose. I'm just, right guy, right place, right time.
If he left the store and never to this moment has not thought there was anything weird about that interaction at all.
No, he's patting himself on the back because he got outside of his shell and he talked to somebody new.
Maybe.
You're in his diary at this point.
With the picture of those parachute pants.
No, he was wearing the parachute pants.
No, he's imagining Paul's parachute pants right now.
I know I am.
I'm not going to sleep well tonight after that.
I'm causing 4 nightmares tonight. It's great.
What do you call them if you're awake?
What was that, Al?
Oh, sorry, Hugh. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I said daymares. I was asking.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, in all honesty, guys, I know we're giving him a lot of shit for it and it's funny, but really, lots of people wore parachute pants back then. I'm not going to have nightmares. I can laugh about it, but whatever. I went to school dressed as Doctor Who. Okay. When I was like, all of them, it was an amalgamation of costumes. I didn't have the stuff to create one costume, but overcoat, a hat. My mom sewed question marks on the collar of a white shirt. It was fucking awful. And I
what
did
are you
this
talking about? There's
grade.
only one Doctor Who. Tom Baker.
Tom Baker's great, but he's not the only Doctor Who.
He's the only one. He's the only one that matters.
This could be a long episode for that.
Yeah, I should agree with you because that's where I grew up watching him. But I would say no. They all matter. They've all contributed, and the best one was Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor.
Tom Baker.
This is going to be for another episode.
Yeah.
Right. The Doctor
anyway,
Who fight.
Long story short, come on, guys. Seriously, everybody in school was like, what the fuck? I had yo-yos and jacks and candy and shit stuffed in the pockets, and it was just stupid. And it wasn't Halloween. I just did it like 4 or 5 times for no reason at all.
That I never did. I never cosplay at school.
Yeah, so I feel you, Paul. I think it's okay. The parachute pants are okay.
I appreciate it.
Not now, but then it was okay.
But take
Kids
them
do dumb things.
I was just gonna go dig them back out. No.
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 First of all, they probably wouldn't fit.
Definitely wouldn't fit.
Hey, I say you do you. This is 2021. You can wear what you want.
You did that earlier.
Yeah, at the gas station.
I hope you guys appreciate that. The left arm doesn't go all the way back anymore. What do we have to wrap this up? Or is it time for me to drop some wisdom nuggets?
Come on, Corbs.
I don't know. I assume it's time for him to drop a nugget or something.
Thought he dropped his nugget at the gas pump.
How do you pump gas with both hands in the back of your head?
It's wife.
Pure talent, my friend. Pure talent. All right. Before I finish this off, Al, tell everybody where they can find you.
Florida.
I'm in the office. I told you before.
Sorry, my bad.
Resurrections and Adam Warlock and Thanos podcast. Any podcatcher, just type in Adam Warlock or Thanos, pops up, or resurrectionsadamwarlock.tumblr.com.
All right. Is that where you want me to link to? Is the Tumblr page?
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Because that will be in the show notes that apparently I don't ever post the links to.
Who said that?
It's in the open. You didn't hear it when we started the show? What the hell?
Well, that doesn't happen live. You should know how this works by now.
There's that. Sorry. Okay.
That was like 2 hours of painstaking editing because all of those sound effects you heard, those were all separate effects.
Yep.
And even the difference in the length between certain tones, I had to adjust all of that manually. That was a lot of fun.
We appreciate it because it came out very good. I feel your pain and Al feels your pain because we're both editors.
Yeah.
So
I know what that's like. Yeah, you were on the web one when I did the little was that little audio play for the Hostess ad?
Yep.
And I put that all together, sound effects, voices, people talking. That took a while. And that was like 2 minutes.
And those were great, by the way. I love your Hostess ads.
They were fun, but damn, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and you and I had the easy parts.
Yeah, just say things. Okay,
Right.
we're done. A minute later, I'm done. Have fun.
See, I can go upstairs and drink now.
Yeah.
All right. So my 100th. No, it's not. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Wisdom nugget, because we just started these. Wearing a mask over a beard is reminiscent of a 1970s ladies' underwear ad. Good night, everybody, and mega money, bitches.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.